as corny as Kansas in August. I'm as normal as blueberry pie. No more a smart little girl with no heart. I have found me a wonderful guy.
All right, here we are with Exalted, the Congenials, Season 1, Episode 4. My name is Devin, this is sponsored by nobody, and to my internet we have...
Gary playing Mirage.
Joe playing Mocking White Wind.
Samuel playing the Magister.
Max playing Heroism Advancing Algorithm.
Jordan playing Masque.
All right, so as you can tell, listeners, we have two new folk here, Jordan and Max. They're playing an Alchemical and a... what was it? What type of lunar was it again?
Changing Moon.
A Changing Moon lunar for Jordan. So, team who was here last session, what happened?
Oh, man.
Well,
We lived up to our name, barely.
yes, I found my way back to White Wind, who had found a new friend, the Magister.
Friend is such a...
We delved into the heart of an ancient manse/zoo, found lots of animals in stasis, then found the chosen of the Forge of Beasts, who apparently was enjoying his work, creating new monstrosities and setting them loose on the world.
Enjoying them just a little too much.
Yeah, enjoying his work a little too much, and I managed to convince him to hold off on releasing his next. Actually, I don't know. I don't think he was ready to release it yet, but I came up with an idea where I might be able to find a suitable place for him to test his creations against would-be heroes without killing lots of innocent people. And then quickly hustled White Wind and the Magister out before chaos happened.
And he seemed totally down with that. As in, oh man, I wanted to murder some innocent people.
I don't think
it's
he much
fun.
cared either way. I think he more cared about the creatures creating heroes.
Mm-hmm.
He only cares about the world being healed, and you guys were being selfish.
Seriously, we were being so wait, what?
Well, totally, being selfish about making sure that no mortals are harmed in the making
Absolutely,
of this.
that's clearly so. And we walked outside, figuring, oh, this will be nice. We'll be able to hopefully get an ally out of this. No one will need to die. And then we found out that the Manch Geomancy had been sabotaged.
Yep.
So White Wind got on emergency damage control, while I think the Magister and I went back to pick up the rest of his tools and supplies, and
believe
then
I was
them
actually-
back to him. I will need your help to carry this stuff.
I guess there are manses in the area. You're aware that there are about 3 of these manses that are just in the local geomancy that are messing up this central thing. So someone knowledgeable had to have been working on this. And
Now, sorry, I was just going to say, I'm not in such a big hurry to go tromping off to these manses without backup. But I do need to work on this one at least to stabilize the area.
Could we zoom in on the map? Maybe show where everything is happening, because that might make it easier to picture things.
it's really hard. This map is garbage.
Oh, it looks so nice too.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of fidelity.
Yeah.
So just around here.
Kind of to the west
Oh,
of
that
Shanka.
narrowed it down.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the size of Canada.
Oh, wait, I can draw. So I will draw freehand.
There's a reason why we enjoy having help from a... that narrows it down.
Sidereal?
Yeah, well, we have a journey chosen of journeys assisting us with our little travel issues.
Yeah, and those gates. Them gates.
Actually, we're not using them gates.
We really don't need them for these purposes.
Oh shoot, I just remembered I have to enter something in forum in RPGNet.
Oh my god, R20 is just being shitty. There we go. Somewhere around there. Now, as I was saying, so who went back to that Chantonese outpost?
Well, I definitely was going to go because I'm the one who can get there in a hurry, but I was under the impression that if we were going to collect all the supplies we needed and get back, that another pair of hands would be helpful. and I wasn't aware that the Magister could do much to assist until those supplies were in hand anyway. So I think I had mentioned wanting the Magister to come with, but
I forgot if I was going or not, so just decide if I went with
I think you
or
and the
not.
Magister went. I think you guys went to check it out. It doesn't
All right.
matter what last session said. That was
Hey,
last
look, I'm
session.
gonna get Timmy, and I'll just rewrite what happened.
Okay, so you guys head into Shanta, you guys head to your little vault, and start looting it for things. Are you taking those artifice parts that you found?
would they have been on the list of the things that Mocking White Wind had mentioned? Because he did give us a list.
Yes, I did.
Would those have been on them?
Yes.
Well, then they're coming along, I guess.
All right. You guys start loading up and getting a boat ready, and we already said last session this would not take that long.
No, it really won't.
Right.
So I was thought that the Magister wanted to have a heart-to-heart about...
He does. Because, Walking Might Wind, yes, that is your name now, mentioned that you had some fate powers, and he is not sure what that means, but he's trying to find out about fate, so he's going to subtly try to, well, not so subtly, just kind of...
Yeah, just spit it out.
Mirage, was it? Was that what you were called?
Yeah. Is that in character or out of character?
In character.
Yes, indeed. I am Mirage with the Ideal Destination.
Strange name. I am uncertain of your relations to this Lunar.
My relations to Mocking White Wind?
Yes, I mean, I suppose I would like to know if you are perhaps a retainer or an assistant or a prophecy, a seer.
Well, I don't think I would be called a retainer. Mocking White Wind and I have been traveling together for some time now, and in the company of a young chosen of the sun, and we've managed to do some good by finding mischievous creatures such as you and he had apparently found while I was away, and putting them down for the good of the local population. They tend to cause all sorts of problems.
Yes. Yes, but my question is whether you have what your relations to the gods are, I suppose.
Well, I am also a chosen of the gods.
Ah, yes, that is what I was asking. I am not so certain what sort of options there are of the gods. I was, for the most part, aware only of the dragons, as you might imagine. But...
I look at the Magister. I look at the Magister curiously and say, "Well, I have not had the opportunity to observe your gifts, but Mocking White Wind seemed to allude that you too were chosen."
In a way, I suppose.
I say, "Well, do tell. Don't leave me in suspense now."
He's wondering if maybe leaving you in suspense is exactly what he wants to do. I need some assurances first, because I have some... Yeah, sorry, my cat is meowing.
Assurances of what?
Assurances that you will not murder me.
I look at him most puzzled. Why would I do a thing like that?
It is something I have heard of. That is very possible.
While I know that many of the chosen are incredibly violent, that has not ever been my way.
You must understand, I grew up on the Isle, and while Mocking White Wind's very gracious savior of my personhood was very appreciated a while ago, that was a weird way of putting that, has changed my perception on many things. I must still hedge my bets. Do you perhaps have a symbol or a mark upon your forehead that I could see?
I say, Well, I can assure you that that I have never had cause. I have no cause to wish to do you any harm, and if it would give you some comfort to know, out of character, I don't get the impression from anything I read that the Five Score Fellowship has a vowed secrecy on the fact that the Five Score Fellowship exists. GM, is that accurate, or is there a the first rule of Sidereal Club is you don't talk about Sidereal Club?
I mean, you're among Exalted. They know that Sidereals exist.
I was gonna say, yeah. Okay.
And also, you have the effect of memory erasure and occlument because the mask is broken, which protects you anyway. So
well, that's true, but I have a feeling that while Sidereals have it, they don't like to count on it because it is known that sufficient essence tends to cause things that rely on fate to sometimes go awry, including the mask. So. Back in character as I mute my mic. Back in character, I say, if it will give you some assurance to know, I am a chosen of the Maiden of Journeys.
He looks at you for a long time, tensed up.
That troubles you.
There were worse options, I suppose.
Well, I suppose if you were concerned about me being the violent sort, if I told you that I was one of the what they call them, the Bronze Panthers, then that would probably cause you some alarm. But
that
no,
means
I'm not.
Little to me. No, I have been warned about the ones who are violet. Who, as a side note, in Dragon Blood mythology, I imagine that they mention the maidens as some sort of gods that deal with fate, and they might say like under Venus or something like that, right? So that they know about Mercury, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn.
I guess
Well,
that they exist, but there's probably no mention of them as a specific exalt type.
Right.
Not
probably
quite. In south, in the Varangia, the one with all the astrology, they believe that the Varangians who worship the maidens are just some really heterodox cult worshipping the dragons.
All right, but they're aware that the maidens exist. Not the Exalted, but the maidens themselves.
They think they're aspects of the dragons. Like when you say a Venus, they think you're talking about a Pisces or something like that.
and also keep in mind that they are aware of the maidens, but the Dragon Bloods and the Immaculate Faith handles all the worshipping of them. They are venerated, but they're not. Like he said, they're aspects of the dragons themselves.
All right, that works.
Okay.
The answer is moo.
I was told to fear those with the mark of Saturn.
I think you're having some microphone trouble, Sam.
Me? Am I? Hello?
It's coming through pretty clear.
I can
Oh,
hear.
really?
No,
Okay,
that's just how I
thought
talk, sorry.
You sound like that.
A little bit, yeah.
Yo, just to give everyone a heads up, this is an issue with Roll20 that occasionally where you will have a lag to someone else, they will sound like that, but to everyone else, they'll be fine.
Oh, okay, that must have been it. I'm sorry,
Good
Sam.
to know.
All right.
Sorry, I found that out the hard way.
All right. Okay, so
Go ahead, Sam.
right. I had some information to perhaps fear those who had the mark of Saturn upon their brow. You see, they clean up loose ends.
Well, I shrug. I give a smile, and I will go ahead and display the I believe it's yellow caste mark of the chosen of the chosen of Mercury.
Yep, it's yellow.
And so and that I will say nothing. I will say nothing, but that is what I will do in response.
He looks at you for a while and then bows his head a bit. Thank you for trusting me. And he will flare his anima, which is a problem because we are at the point where we don't know what Gatimian animas look like.
Oh yeah, we've explained it before.
I was gonna say, does it like show up as like just a white box and it says image not found?
No, this is not Arrested Development. No, your anima banner flares like an iridescent purple-ish corona from inside your skin, showing a colony of spiders inside your bones.
There's also the yin-yang aspect of the Gatimians, where some, depending on what what version of the aspect they're doing, they tend to have blacks and whites in their anima full banner once they go to a
Yeah,
stomach.
it's like a weird X-ray, showing spiders moving
Oh,
along
that's pretty
inside.
cool.
That's what happened the
Yeah,
last
it
time you
is.
flared
Just
your anima.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Okay.
So it's kinda like
Holden and Moore did drop some hints at what they do look like, but they didn't go into detail beyond that.
Okay.
So it's like that part with Dr. Manhattan.
Yes, actually, that's a very good description of it.
All right.
That's pretty sweet.
So he stands in front of you, slightly translucent beads of movement crawling up and down him. I am a forgotten thread, one who was cast out against his wishes.
I don't lose the smile, but it shrinks a little bit, and I have a very curious look on my face, and curious as in I look like I'm very curious about you, because I go, well, that is truly unique. I will confess, I was unfamiliar, and there are not many among the chosen who are entirely unfamiliar to me.
He raises an eyebrow. I am actually surprised that you are surprised. To be honest, I had thought that many knew much more about this sort of thing than me, but
I say, when you say a forgotten thread, what precisely do you mean?
He gives you a glare.
My character looks completely earnest as he asks this question because he is clueless that is the illusion you're making.
He's fine with that, but he will give you a glare, and as he's loading up more of the boxes that we are transporting, he will say, reality seems to be bound with many threads. Mine fell to the cutting floor. I was once a magister of the realm, a teacher. Once being the key word. You see, one day, returning to my students, I found an imposter sitting there, exactly teaching, and nobody noticed. Everybody but me saw him and said, that is the magister. But it was not me. And they looked on me and said I was the imposter, that I did not exist, that I was a madman for claiming all these people, all of them I had known for my entire lives. They recognized me no more.
I pause, and I pause, clearly taken a bit aback, and I go, and I say, that's tragic. They didn't. Your place was taken by someone who looked like you.
He looked nothing like me.
Oh.
But they acted as though he was me.
That shouldn't be possible. And I look genuinely confused and upset because I'm taken quite a bit off guard. I say that should not be possible.
He glares at you again. More this time in a frustration glare, because, as he says, that is not the answer I was looking for. I had come looking specifically for those who knew about these threads of reality, this fate, to figure out why.
I know a bit about such things, though none can completely comprehend the designs of the maidens, nor the designs of fate. But as far as I do know, what you describe should not be possible. Such a thing should not transpire. In fact, if such a thing were to transpire, usually, if I found out about such a thing, I'd be tasked to attempt to put it right and put the thing that was displaced back in its place. This is
Or
impossible.
into someone else's place, perhaps. You see, when I was sitting in the prison for being insane, my colleagues captured me. The spiders, they came to me. They whispered of all the things that they had seen this happen many times again and again. And that the chosen, the one with the purple mark upon their brow, the one with the mark of Saturn, would come and soon would remove my fallen thread.
I look very cautious as I ask the next question. Did they?
I don't know. I fled. You see, the bars that held me were impervious to a mortal man, but to whatever I am now, it was just a trifle.
To the Exalted.
To the Exalted, yes. I aged the bars to where they became dust. I ripped into the strands of fate, and I said, this bar has been here for thousands of years, and it turned to rust in my hand.
You did this in a prison in the Imperial City?
Stop! Don't be insane. I taught in the precinct of the Northeast. No, if I had done that in the Imperial City, I would have been swarmed and beaten down by the wild hunts as a false exigent. But
I apologize. I don't know what to say. I've never heard or seen anything like this. I wish I could tell you more, but I believe I'm unfortunately as perplexed as you.
he looks very disappointed at that. And then so my search must go on.
I respond, well, if it is any solace to you, I would hope to aid you in this search, because if such things are going wrong and people such as yourself are being displaced, this is, as you said, something that ought not to happen. And if I can understand more about how it does, perhaps none need suffer the way you have.
He's going to look straight at you, as though he is looking into your soul. He doesn't have any exalted powers to do so, but he is old for a mortal, young for an exalt, and has a little bit of judgment.
My character does not engage in a staring contest. He looks a little bit off to the side. He is not like looking away, turning away, but he looks a little bit off to the side and looks clearly upset and a little distressed. In fact, I think that I don't know if you've probably never seen him actually look distressed or anything other than
he's known you for about 2 days now. So he's known you for about 2 days now.
I was gonna say, so he's known you he's known me for a few actually probably only a few hours. So, but yeah. It's definitely a change in his expression so far.
Surprisingly, I actually do trust you to an extent.
He says, Mirage replies, I do not blame you for your caution after something like that. Say, in any case, the search indeed must go on. Let's get our things and return to help Mocking White Wind, and thus we can continue upon it as soon as possible.
Indeed, but I do ask this one thing. I want to know why. Why was my thread clipped? Answer me that, and I will be most happy.
I'd say, will you give me time to investigate the question?
I have waited many years. I did not expect you to instantly know.
I said, I will see what I can find.
Thank you. I'm a patient man. I studied the Shoguns.
and become quite a bit more introspective on the return trip.
I imagine we don't talk too much to each other very much. It might seem a little awkward.
Probably not. No.
Probably.
But thankfully, the return trip is pretty quick, so...
Yeah, so we don't have to stand next to each other too much.
Yeah. Obviously, Dep and I'm activating my relevant navigate powers, such as Swift Progress and Path of the Racing Dawn, to expedite this trip.
All right. Okay, and I think we will eventually approach Mocking White Wind.
Yep.
Alrighty. I'm there, working on the manse, trying to repair as much as I can.
Okay, so now that you guys are done your boat trip, you've loaded your stuff on, you go down the various rivers and such, using your charms and secrets of travel to make your way to the manse. Where was I? There is someone who is basically on his way in when you guys get there. So, Masque...
on his way in.
So, Masque, Spider Ichi, the dude who's basically in charge of operations in the area, approached you and, in his own way, told you that you should probably check out this manse that's happening and gave you a location and was fairly vague, fairly standoffish about it. You know, he was more of a idle curiosity and said, go check it out. There's another one of us down there. Maybe you should talk to him. You could probably learn a thing or two from him or teach him something. I don't know or care. I'm really bad at being a teacher. So, you know what? This is probably just going to be a whiff on my part. Don't tell Rain Deathflyer that I said any of this.
I've already forgotten.
Perfect.
All right. And I am currently inspecting the manse in the form of a few dozen spiders.
Okay, so yeah, the manse itself is a clearing with trees that are just blown away at the bottom and are hovering in the air. There's a central kind of platform that descends straight down. That's an elevator or a lift or a sort of analog device for lifting and lowering cargo. You see them all around in Huzzah. And yeah, the manse is hurt, and there's something weird going on with it. You can kind of feel it in the essence.
Oh, no. I wish I knew more about thaumaturgy.
If only you knew more about geomancy, didn't know so much about being Spider-Man.
Yeah, this is like, Spider-Man life chose me, right? So
you gotta give JJ all those selfies.
I gotta go, yeah. But I can be two people, so it works. So, yeah, I guess... Like, if you guys go inside, the whole place just, like, covered in spiders.
Well, that's new.
Yeah. And
I mean, I've been here for a while. Would I notice there's a bunch of spiders crawling all over the place?
Probably eventually when, like, they start coming out of, like, different corners and stuff.
I was going to say, as we come in and we see the place with lots of spiders on it, I turn toward the Magister and I assume not the same kind. And
seems that
that's not going to deter me any. So okay, we'll continue to bring the stuff closer. But
You guys all hear yelling from inside the manse.
Oh dear.
Yelling?
Yeah, yelling.
Yelling from the top of the manse?
From inside.
I have a feeling I'm having an argument.
You'd think you were having an argument walking White Wind, but it just started up a little while ago. Whatever you were doing, just diligently working on the manse, your local exigent is in the frozen pools with the elemental, and he's just screaming at him to carry stuff, like from the other end of the triple football
Sorry, you're
fields.
cutting out a lot here.
I look down at the exigent saying, what is this all about?
He's just screaming, over there, to the right, the other right, the other right, the other right. He's just doing that.
I look down at the the elemental and an old realm say, I think he means there between those two columns.
Just something to bring you closer to the entrance of the manse, essentially. That's what that exigent is doing. Getting people moving on in closer. So yes, that's what's happening near the mouth of the manse at the large frozen ponds.
I go down to the exigent. I'm like, you do realize that these elementals serve the courts first and foremost, right?
It's fine. He just kind of gestures with his hand as the elemental's like dragging pillars around. He's like, no, closer, no, too close. It's fine. It's fine. You're just saying words. Courts? Yeah.
I walk over, grab some chalk, mark it down on the floor where stuff can go. I was like, here. It works better if you give them clear directions. Closer, further away, that doesn't work so well. And I just walk off.
You can hear people coming down the lift.
Is that us?
Yes, that's you guys.
Okay.
There's the lift.
It's the lift. It's a corkscrew lift. All right, Mirage. I assume that we are looking out upon.
Yep.
Mocking White Wind.
Hello.
Have your
White Wind. We brought your what you asked for. All of it.
Oh, good. I keep having to realign this wall, and it's getting worse every day.
Now, hopefully you have what you need now to get it under control.
I probably am going to need some more physical help because I'm going to have to shift this entire column off to the right here.
He gestures to his skinny bone arms. Like, what do you expect me to do?
I expect you to tie rope around me and the column as I pull it as a mule. Excuse me. And he goes off and goes and grabs some rope.
Huh.
Where there's a shape-shifting monstrosity, there is a way.
I say, well, that's one way to tackle the problem directly. I don't suppose that you really need my help, do you? May I tend to the other problem?
Yes, please, tend to him. He's screaming at the elemental, and if he keeps bothering it, I'm sure it's going to go back to the court and piss off some elder dragon. Ugh.
Those elder dragons, they keep bringing up these scrolls. Something about that.
Yeah, the exigent and the elemental are basically coordinating moving debris around to make a sort of makeshift desk filing area. Like, he's just sectioning off bits of the ice planes to, set up work.
And then suddenly, all the spiders start laughing all at once
Oh God, spiders!
from like all around you. And
If the Magister actually says, "Oh God, spiders," I'm just gonna give him a curious look.
the spiders they're all small orb weavers. They're not like tarantulas. They're small white orb weavers. And they're kind of gradually all kind of moving into like a pile in the middle in front of you. And, the pile's growing and, taking a shape.
I'm going to step back a bit.
Yeah. And it reveals a younger adult Halton man with light brown skin. He is currently wearing a white robe with a leather belt made out of spider silk. He's slim and wiry, but his posture gives off an impression of a great amount of energy that's taut, like a rubber band or like a spring. And let's see, his eyes are hard to read and always appear to be appraising your entire group, although for what, you're not sure.
I look at him for a moment, and I think, and I'm looking back to Mocking White Wind. Magister, in my head, I'm thinking, one of yours or one of yours? And then say...
There's a lot of spiders in this party.
And he's looking at you like you guys are funny.
Yeah.
He's just
Right,
kind of
same.
smugly amused.
And I say, "Oh, looks like this is. It looks like this spot is gaining a lot of popularity." Hello.
Hello, he says.
I kind of
guess
look at
the
him.
I says it's kind of redundant. He
Yes.
says it's kind of redundant.
What was? Sorry to ask this. What was the name of my contact, Devin?
The name of your contact, like your lunar contact?
Yeah, the not the elder, but the guy I was talking to.
Spider Ichi.
There's so many spiders.
Seriously,
At
that's
least,
why I was
at
like,
least like
looking. I'm
3 or
going.
4 at this point.
But look, we've
Yeah.
got the Chosen of Dirt, the Sidereals, who use spiders everywhere.
Yeah,
And
that's a
there's
whole
me,
lot of
who's
two
filled with
people.
spiders.
I guess if I eat some, I can turn into them.
We'll just rename this from the Congenials into Congenially Spider. No, Arachno. Never mind.
No.
Congenials, Arachnophobia Part 2.
Okay, so
I look
Well,
at it.
that
and
sounds
say,
like standard. What is it? What do they call it? Confirmation bias to me.
yeah, pretty much. No,
There's
we're
actually,
not
like,
doing
just
that
two.
either.
Yeah, the
So-
Arachnophiles.
So I say, I am Mirage, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
And he looks at you with these kind of slit eyes, like he was really hoping that you would ask him that. And he says, "My name? A misunderstanding of massive magnitude. What is me is merely a mirage, manufactured from the mass of moments made from morning till night. The I is a metamorphosis of mind and model, mistaken as
No,
moon
sir,
map
you
by-
made a mistake. I'm Mirage.
an answer he did not expect. As I walk over, and I'm like,
He looks at you like he's really pissed off that you just interrupted him.
Ooh. And destroyed.
Oh,
He flips you guys off, and then he just moonwalks out
no.
of the story.
Keep talking, I'll be
out of
BRB.
history.
All right.
hold. I'm assuming Ichi sent you.
Yes. Yes, he sent me. As
What
I
is
was
your given
trying
ti-
to explain before I was rudely interrupted.
Oh. Please continue.
Mistaken as moon mad by the mainstream, but indeed marked by the moon. Yet I mind that my motivation's lack of malice may be marred by a myriad of misgivings. My moniker, then, is Masque, and I consider our meeting a delight.
Or at least you
Oh, truly.
did up till about a minute ago.
Yes.
So you no
I-
longer consider it a delight.
I must
No.
admit, I am glad that somebody else has studied up upon his vocabulary.
It is the most elaborate repertoire of verbosity.
In fact, yes.
Words, words, words. I'm more worried about results. Excuse me. Can
Likewise.
you help me? Okay, tie this around my neck here. There. Excuse me. Shapeshift into a large mule and starts pulling the column.
You seem very unconcerned about yet another one of the moon mad coming to us.
As I walk, pulling the
say
column.
bad. Does anyone still use that pejorative?
Oh, only when I want to insult you.
Why would you want to insult him? He just got here.
He looks at you with a smirk.
Oh,
I have a feeling that you are a jokester.
Masque just goes, sits down and watches you guys.
So what is your purpose here? Oh man, this is hard to keep and hold on of rope.
And I just stand up and it's like, I got it. Yes,
I
why are
was-
you here?
Spider Ichi, my colleague, asked me to come here to observe you. He said that you were hunters of monsters and that your actions were of interest in the region. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to learn and expand my repertoire of selves, personalities.
You do
What have
realize that we're not specifically hunting these beasts to take their forms.
I mean,
Right.
it's a nice side
I didn't
bonus.
say anything about forms, but it's hard for those who are stuck in the illusion of a single self to understand. I realize, so I will not hold it against you.
Okay.
Right. Well, I'm afraid that nobody gets to observe help.
All right, so we're back. Heroism advancing algorithm. You are on the river in a boat made of composite materials, various rubbers, and stocked well with your men and a nice small combustion steam-powered engine. Basically a riverboat, like a paddle boat.
Is it like Mark Twain paddle boats?
No.
Oh, those things are much larger and more advanced than you're thinking.
It's been a few months since you've breached, since Project Razor was a complete success for Mighty Class Slat, the empire that shall never end. And you and your stalwart men have set up an outpost here in this strange sky open room that is creation, or Huzzah, as they call it. You guys have met with the local sort of representative government people and have started setting up trade relations and various sorts of agreements and whatnot. You guys have been trading goods and services between each other. Basically, the beginnings of diplomacy with the sky people or the outside people. You know, these horrible soulless apes that don't have soul gems.
Oh, are we doing that?
So, the Hultanese have let you know that they have contacts who are a little more supernatural and have been troubleshooting problems for them on behalf of various dignitaries and diplomats and relations they have. And one of these problems has informed them that if you go down a certain river, take a certain course, you'll find a grove of trees that don't have bottoms. They then explained what trees are and why not having bottoms is a problem generally, and it's not just a feature. Because, you know, you guys. So it's you.
Wait, they don't understand gravity?
No, they have stalactites.
No. These models are just installed with a paramagnetic repulsor array.
Or they were just, or because they have little screw tops, you know, trees with branches, they were screwed into the sky.
Obviously.
Anyway, it's you and 5 of your, I'm going to say, best men and women. They're all in the black rubbery material that sets them out as regulator scouts. So they have crossbows with, metal arrows locked into them. They all have those welding mask visors on to keep the hideous sun out. A few of these people have been more adventurous and have been starting to eat the local food to, like, you know, get an acclimate to it without throwing up constantly. But it is awful, awful, overpowering stuff. It's not like sweet, sweet nutrient paste. Sweet, life-giving nutrient paste. Straight from God's teat. And yeah, your boat, such as it is, goes through the water, basically lands itself on the shore, and yeah, look, there's a whole fucking grotto of trees with no bottoms.
We should take samples in case there's an anti-gravitic property into these composites.
You bet! One of them comes out with a chopping sword and starts hacking away at one of the trees. Look, it's bleeding!
I love that your microphone keeps going to robotic mode too.
Yeah, I thought that was like a deliberate
It's not a
thing,
feature.
but don't change it. You sound like
What's it doing
Caboose
now?
from Red vs. Blue.
Oh my god.
Time is not a line, time is a circle. That's why clocks are round.
So, you guys hear the sound of humming and biting as it sounds like there's something happening topside.
What the? Is the mocking white wind? Is the man's collapsing? Do we need to evacuate? Mirage?
I'm not entirely sure.
I was gonna say, no.
The manse is going to be stabilized, but the problem is we have external pressure from those 3 other manses. Until we get that resolved...
You hear the sound of crashing as one of the trees gets cut down.
Oh, God.
And
damn it.
that
I
needs to be
said-
fixed.
I turn and I go, is that going to be a problem? I'm addressing Mocking White Wind.
I instantly walk outside to go see what's going on.
Yes. That is
Outside-
a
Go to the elevator.
Outside,
Yeah,
there are 5 men and women, stocky, kind of thin-looking, in their black leather fascist trench coats with gas mask and welding goggles on, using chain-powered swords that have little essence capacitors in them, hacking and cutting their way through the trees and knocking them over, and then starting to bisect them.
Oh, what fresh Malpheus is this?
What is wrong with the Outer Realms?
I shapeshift into one of them and use let's see what deceitful faces to understand their culture.
Okay. They're Autochthonians. I hope you read up about them, Jordan.
Oh yeah, I got it all memorized. So then I just look like a thing in a reflective surface like water, and just repeat to myself, I'm Autochthonian. I am a what rank are they? They wouldn't be lumpen.
But you just did this in front of them.
Yeah, they don't know what they
They're
probably
regulator
assume
scouts.
creation people do all kinds of weird things.
They're regulator scouts.
Meanwhile, inside,
Technically
I'm
a branch
asking
of the
Mom,
priesthood.
When we go out there,
Hey, I'm a regular scout. I'm a regular scout. I'm a regular scout.
Hey, look! There's an extra one of us by the river. Fascinating.
I walk over to them and I go, comrades, this area has been cordoned off by order of the Klazlat.
oh fuck.
Except
just
that I
sit there
say
and
it
smile.
way better than them, because I know exactly what to say because of deceitful faces.
One of them turns to their giant golden communist Superman, Karl Marx style, and goes, Hal?
Hal!
Comrade,
I look around and go yes, who is Hal? Who is this Hal?
You should come over here. It looks like this place has already been taken. Are we still in Classlat?
comrade, what is the designation of your exploratory division?
I give him the exact right exploratory division.
Which
'Cause
is
I was
probably the same one that he is.
No, I have it says deceitful faces. I know exactly what to do to maintain the facade, so
He probably gives them another division number that sounds authentic, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But may not be completely authentic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the same thing on my luggage.
It just maintains the illusion, right?
Just don't try to push it too much.
No.
You are doing basically a contested deceit against an Exalt.
I don't know
You
if
can't tell if I'm lying. I have what it was liar's flawless grace.
Yeah, that's kind of an awesome power.
I told you I'm the social guy.
And I'm like this fact.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here smiling because I've seen my brethren do this. And it's just like, oh wow, he's really pulling this nonsense out.
So, Exthalion or Max, describe your character to the party.
Okay, he's rather taller than normal, albeit his skin is clay-like, a color of aged bronze, and he's dressed in what looks like a monk's robe woven out of metal. It's probably incredibly uncomfortable.
Masque looks really thrilled. He's not worshiping you, but he looks really honored to see you. If someone saw Captain America in real life.
As any proletariat would be against
Yeah.
the champion.
Just a minor suggestion so we can go down the road because we've got 2 new people. Mirage, starting with Mirage, how about we just give a quick description of what we look like?
All right.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. I
So-
assume Mocking White Wind is a dragon man.
Oh no,
No.
you'll get to see me in a minute. Hold on.
Mirage is a little on the short side, a little bit on the slim side. His hair is light brown. He tends to wear a lot of light browns as well. His skin is pretty tanned, and in general, he's pretty much always smiling. I think we found the first time earlier today when he wasn't smiling. And he carries a short staff that he tends to lean just a bit upon, like a walking stick.
Really? Masque is always smiling too.
Oh, we're gonna get along.
We're a bunch of happy
fabulously.
campers.
That makes you
Get along
suspicious.
fabulously when I don't interrupt you. That is.
Yeah.
And the same. Are you me?
Mocking White Wen is a man. He's basically just shy of 6 foot. I describe him as Piccolo without the ridiculous shoulder pads because that's the kind of outfit he's wearing.
Does he have the turban?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's
Fuck
more
yeah.
in line. But it's more in line that he looks like a shaman of the people who live closer to Iceholm. So I look like an ice walker.
What
Shaman.
do they look like?
They are very much what is the term? The Southern Water tribe from Avatar.
Okay.
What do they look like?
They're
Kind of like
No, I'm
Inuit
kidding.
people.
I'm kidding. I know
Yeah.
that. I'm just being a
Inuit.
dick.
Yeah, you
Um,
were about
yeah,
to have
he-
your nerd card revoked.
He looks fairly Inuit is a good way of describing him.
Okay. You're a long way from home, bro.
Well, not that far. I mean, I'm still in the neighborhood.
We're
Also,
north-
he doesn't.
or
He
north-
doesn't.
Yeah, northeast.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess so.
He doesn't take much effort to hide his tattoos, but then again, he's dressed up fairly heavily, so it's not like he's going out of his way to display them all the time. When he's not, when he's walking around, he does pull his turban down over his face so it covers him. But around here, he doesn't care. He's just flaunting it. He's got tattoos all. He's even got his sleeves rolled up because he's been so busy. So you can see the patterns and diagrams and stuff running over him. If you know Ichi, then you know he's a no moon, and he is extremely no nonsense most of the time.
One last question. Is the clothing weighted?
It's slightly padded with armor, so yes.
So then, like, when you're fighting, you can, like, take it off and it's like...
No, not like that. It's
Oh.
you know, it's basically cloth armor, so I can fight and not, but still at the same time use snake style.
All right. The Magister is a gaunt man, tall, slender. He is very, very thin in kind of bones. Doesn't really have much muscular to him. He is clothed in a black and gold robe of the style of the Magisters of the realm, I suppose. Sorry, that was a...
So like a Chinese, like, official thing?
Yeah, he kind of looks like a Chinese official.
Chinese bureaucrat.
He looks
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
Chinese
that's-
bureaucrat, I guess. Also, like,
Yeah.
Death from Supernatural.
Yeah. I always thought of, like, the realm as being kind of like Chinese, Persian, Roman.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Yup.
Persian? I
Yeah.
got the Chinese Roman. It's just Persian I've never actually thought about as realm. I thought
I
that
am
Yeah.
a generous god.
Achaemenid. Achaemenid?
Achaemenid. Okay, yeah.
Chimonid.
Achaemenid.
Yeah,
Achaemenid, thank you.
Achaemenid. Wait. Crap.
So
I used to-
anyway,
Right.
Masque and Mocking White Wind, you both know of the class
Achaemenid,
Latlians.
that's it.
They showed up a little while ago, and you've been given you were basically filled in that they're around, and they have exalts, and don't look too closely at it because it's this whole thing that you don't need to worry about. It'll never come up.
I have been infiltrating the crap out of them.
Okay. So I'm seeing. I'm watching my brethren do his thing to calm them down and to have them lead away, and I call out to him in Eastern and say, "Could you tell them that they're damaging an unstable manse?"
I go, shut up. Like, whisper it, like, through the side of my mouth, like, shut up. Like, do they see that you're just some Eastern guy?
I guess. I mean, I don't know how much they're up on
Okay.
Iceholm shamans. I mean,
I'm gonna be like, oh, these are laborers that we have conscripted so that we can teach them the proper way and perhaps eventually get the honor of having a soul gem attached to them.
I probably did not understand that. I'm assuming he's speaking some whatever native Autochthonian tongue or something.
That's fine.
Autochthonian.
It's an old realm dialect.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
So anybody who speaks
Oh.
that.
I'm
So I
saying
would
this. Yeah, I'm saying this to heroism. Like, I'm a little embarrassed about it because it's like, oh, these guys, they don't know nothing. It's all, really British colonialist, kind of, I guess.
I turn toward Mocking White Wind, who clearly seems to have at least some vague idea what's going on, and go, "Oh, what now?"
So,
For
Outworlders.
my champion prerogative, I'm requesting an official update on the status of the operation in order to assess efficiency.
yes, very well. I will give you an efficiency report momentarily, comrade. But it is important for now that the workers, they have all these superstitions. But sometimes, they're right. They say you must not attack the bark stalagmites because even though they bleed, it can really hurt their places of power. I'm sorry, it is so difficult to say in the Autochthonian. It doesn't translate right. You understand
I say
me?
in perfectly clear Old Realm, you're damaging an unstable ley line.
The 5 Autochthonians, as you're talking back and forth, are letting the champion deal with this, and they're slowly packing fire dust charges on one of the trees.
That doesn't look great.
Stop that! Stop that! I say in kind of maybe a little more panic than an ordinary person would.
Don't worry, we're packing just enough in to take down this fiber line.
No, you must not do that. You must not do that.
Cut
it will be very
once,
bad.
measure twice.
You must.
Where is your solidite attaché? Has the
What?
superstitions been cleared?
My soul, the superstition. Well, look, we are working. It is right inside here, and I say, I point to the manse, and I say, hey, maybe you should look. But it is not good if the rest of your people go because they are not ready for these crazy things. It can cause bad questions.
Champion, let us go in first. If we're to die, at least we'll go working for Classlat, and the hero advancing algorithm will endure.
No, shut up.
I just like, Mocking White Wind almost loses it.
I get angry at one of them, and I use my deceit power to say, your wife doesn't love you, and say, everyone that you know hates you.
Well, of
And
course
she
she
believes
wouldn't love
that
me.
now.
We had a breeding contract.
No, I say, everybody hates you, and he now believes that.
The state loves me. He looks down at his
No.
shoes.
Oh,
I'm
you
joking,
made
I'm
him
joking.
depressed.
Is there any shot that I understand what they're doing by packing these charges, or is this probably a foreign technology to me?
Well,
They clearly have
You know
fire dust.
but
fire dust.
Yeah, this
Well,
is
if
an
I see them-
Autochthonian fire dust. This is fire dust that they traded for.
Okay, so if I see them about to light it, I'm going to do something. But
Oh no, God no! They don't have the rights to do that. Only the champion does. It's not their cast.
Okay, well,
All right.
That's
all
a
right,
luminary
I'm planning
thing.
my intervention here, so
Yeah.
hopefully it's not necessary.
Also, I feel bad about that fictional man that I just destroyed his life, so, I'll take that back.
He's not fictional. Why do you keep insulting him further?
You're as fictional as Yu-Shan victory.
Ha!
Ha ha ha, I say. Ha ha, that is very funny for a class lad.
Comrade, I will conduct an inspection tour, but first I must see your orders.
Sure. You don't need to see my orders.
I do need to see your orders, comrade. That is
No,
a
you
official
don't.
procedure in this
I think
situation.
Power says
Do
no,
this
he
for
doesn't.
hours.
Oh my God, we're starting just to ask for people's papers, guys.
We do this for hours and hours.
You know what? I
Oh,
have
sec.
papers. You have an
So-
outstanding treaty with Chanta. With Hulta? Do you not?
So what power was this again, Masque? Liar's Flawless Grace?
Yeah.
Lesser foes will always believe them, unless they're completely implausible. So I think that means that greater foes can kind of start to suss it out.
Oh, they can.
But these
I'm
goons?
totally flailing right now.
All right, so are we at a standoff with the deception gift, basically defeating in my knowledge of protocol?
I think it's more that you would think that I'm just crazy. Like, you can't tell that I'm lying. You just think that I'm either wrong, crazy, or stupid.
Another glorious day in this man's army.
Yeah.
You've been out here for
I'm
so
so good
long,
at
you've gone
this.
insane.
I'm so good. It's like, wait, let me try again. Rewind.
No, only I can do that.
Oh, crap. That's an actual power?
Yeah.
Time travel and Exalted. Jeez, is nothing sacred.
It's not time
Homebound,
travel.
I'm assigning you
Seriously.
additional celebrant therapy sessions. Please
I apologize. It was stolen by my papers were stolen by one of those man rats, furry man tree rats. They call them, what is the word? Monkeys.
Man rats, the worst thing in this place.
Oh god.
Who said that?
One of the guys.
Okay.
You gotta understand, his mooks completely believe you. The
monkeys, they
alchemicals
stole
looking
it.
at you like you're insane.
They stole it. They were in the manse, which is what they call it. And if normal people go in there, very venomous bites, they will attack them.
One of
But
the
you, John,
one of the
you could probably-
Autochthonian scouts goes into the ship and pulls out the flamethrower.
That
No,
does
do not use the flamthrower.
Okay,
I
look at him.
Infestation.
Okay, that's enough.
Time to break
No,
kayfabe.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say I would handle
I
it.
look at him and say, brethren, I think while your attempt at this has been helpful, we need to invoke a slightly different protocol.
Are we just whispering to each other now?
I basically walk up to you. Yeah, it's like I think we need to invoke a different protocol.
Okay, do you want me to turn
question,
into a monster?
Question.
No. You can stay in your current form and keep the deception up. Let me approach it this way. I look at him and say,
Deception.
DM.
"Huh?
What deception?
How many barrels is this fired? Like, would it be conceivable? Would I be able to pick up these barrels? Is it conceivable I could hold these barrels?
They're not even barrels.
Like some kind
they're
of
just,
Donkey Kong?
They're just tiny shaped charges to blow up a tree.
Yes."
And they're all on like this one tree or like right around each other.
Well, they put it around one tree. They want to see if they can just blow it up instead of having to hack it down.
So here's my question: in one round, if I was, let's say I was adjacent to the tree, in one round, would I be able to gather them up?
I mean, you could probably pull one off and they're all tied together.
All right. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two miracles. I'm going to all-encompassing presence, and I'm going to, which is a alacrity gift that allows me to twice in a turn instantaneously be
God.
wherever I want.
Okay.
And let's see, I need to find the relevant fate gift. I think it's
So
and I'm
you're
also
telling
gonna
me
cut
that
the
we
consequence,
have...
which says that it's ignored by everyone around. No one can basically perceive that I did what I did.
Yeah.
So I'm
All
going
right.
to use these two miracles to be there, pick up everything, and then quickly drop them off out of sight, hidden somewhere else in the manse.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah. You'll be.
All right, good.
Your
It's
anima
done.
bonfire will be lit.
I'm spending two effort to do it.
So are you telling me that we're in a jungle, we have all these barrels,
No,
and we
I
have
didn't
not
say
done a
barrels.
Donkey Kong
Goddammit.
reference?
They're shaped charges, basically.
I didn't say barrels. No one said barrels.
They're barrels now.
God damn it.
What are they? When are they barrels?
Since never.
Okay.
I crawl up to him and say, "You are under," and I'm speaking in old realm here, so the dialect may be a little weird. You are under an alliance with Huzzah, are you not?
That is the current state of relations.
This is a currently active manse that has been damaged by tampering. Your men are destabilizing a manse that is under Halton jurisdiction. If they explode their devices, they will damage your relations with the Halton with the local Halton affiliate. And I have to sit there he kind of pauses for a minute, searching through his old first stage dialogue. He's like, yeah, that might be the right word.
I'll
Affiliate.
translate for
Then
you.
why did you not open with that? Cooperation
It's my
is
first day.
cooperation
And then-
is mandated by the current state of relations.
And then I'm going to walk out of view because I'm tired of trying to do this form. So I'm going to walk out of view and go, the monkeys! And then sound like I'm dying. And then I'm going to take my normal form and walk out again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I guess 3 or 4 of those Autochthonians head over to where you died with their weapons primed and that flamethrower ready.
And there's nothing there.
Invisible
Oh my
monkeys.
god, they're so good. Oh, I'm dead.
And then something's running.
But no one noticed that all the explosives are missing.
I
Such
think
a
we're
horror
making-
show.
We're distracted by somebody dying.
That's true.
Sorry, Devin.
Yeah.
Well, I can be a monster. I can just pretend to be a monkey.
Oh god, you're gonna have me on the floor here.
This is such a screwed up.
We're supposed to be happy. We're supposed
This
to be
is
happy.
so good. No, this is amazing. What are you talking about? I have the time of my life.
We're congenials. We're just a little deranged right now.
Early days. Now that the whole party's together, minus Sola.
If you know a better way to get out of a cover with anyone being the wiser.
Oh
I
no,
would like to
I'm just
hear it.
razzing you.
I just want
Fake
to
your
point
own
out,
death.
No, this is great.
Repeatedly. I guess
You
if I
have a
say,
name tag.
Champion, it would be best if you call your men back, because if you look, the man apes, and I say that deadpan, apparently have stolen some of your equipment. They best return to their boat and keep an eye on it to prevent further theft and harm.
He gives an
That's
order.
great.
I make monkey noises from far away, so they're scared.
I'm imagining. We haven't heard much from him in the last minute, but I imagine Devin is over there face palming so hard.
Oh, this is pretty good. So, now that you've gotten all of that out of your system, you are all hanging out the manse. Be friends now. Make it happen.
I love
I
you,
assume-
robot.
Query.
I look at
Is
the
it possible to render assistance in repairing this topological structure?
Yes, actually, that would be helpful. You have to understand you walked into the middle of a delicate situation, and while I don't demean your men's efforts in order to assist, we have a slight problem in that a chosen of beasts is within, and unfortunately his activities was destabilized in Halton area. My companions and I, and please understand that celebrant was merely helping, or not the celebrant. What was he calling himself? What is it? The regulator. Your citizen was merely assisting us in keeping unwanted locals away while we repaired the manse. But there is a larger issue where we have other manses in the area applying negative geomantic forces, and I'm trying to keep in mind every time I say this, I say it probably totally wrong in first stage, like my accent's wrong. So it's like I'm reading.
I'm gonna.
At least you can speak first stage.
Nuclear.
I'm just gonna turn into Mac to heroism. So then, I kind of understand him again, and I can just translate to you for you.
Okay. And I'm just saying,
So,
there is geomantic nuclear destabilization coming from these various other sites, and until we can until we bleed off the excess essence and allow the normal geomantic flow to resume, the area will begin to escalate into a critical event, joyous explosion, translation error.
it's going to explode. I explain.
Where is
And,
the primary repairs necessary? This location or the additional satellite facilities?
This location has been, well, actually, pause.
You want us to pause recording?
We're
Well,
over.
no. Storyteller, has the environment been stabilized here long enough that we can head off to handle what's causing the problems at the satellite sites?
Oh, yeah.
The geomantic area has been stabilized and redoubled as much as possible, although your men can do some additional work that I will detail while we head out and deal with the satellite sites to bleed off the excess essence.
Question OOC. This is chess. This is like, I'm not making a joke. It's just a serious question. Just a rules question.
Yeah.
When I use deceitful faces, it says I instinctively know languages and what to do to maintain the facade, right?
Which one is this?
Shapeshifting.
It's a greater gift.
Yeah. Does the knowledge of languages remain after I shift back, or do a different thing, or is it?
Nope.
Does it just disappear?
Disappears with the form.
Okay, good to know.
But the good news
It's
is it's
constant with any impersonation. So yeah, anytime you impersonate anything.
yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know for the future.
And to let Max know, my character, while not having Artifice Gift, has a fact related to being a geomantic savant, basically. Well, he's actually a shamanistic savant, but he's been using that basically to keep this place from blowing up.
Okay, can I ask for clarification?
Sure.
So the Alchemical's mortal attendants have gone off to look after their supplies, and the heroism advancing algorithm is being given a tour of the manse by the only person here who really knows geomancy besides, right?
Did you guys not let the guys come in with you?
I wasn't sure. I got the
I
opinion.
kind of didn't want them wandering around the place until we had a chance to vet them.
Well, it's really up to Heroine Advancing Algorithm.
I can send out a worry spider to keep watch of them if that's a problem, because they might actually get killed by animals out there.
Heroine Advancing Algorithm. Hal.
Yeah, I left them at the boat.
Okay, yeah, they start pulling the trees.
With
They knock
guns drawn
down.
and watches because people are crazy and the man rats in the area are apparently very vicious.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're taking the trees
don't-
they already cut down and sawing them into parts and putting them around the boat as pontoons to bring
Oh,
back.
God damn it.
For
They're
study.
so smart. They're so smart. They're great, but they need to stop.
Well, I'm afraid to say that once the trees have been cut down or severed from their geomantic flow lines, there's not much we can do. We're going to have to plant new trees.
You would think.
Well,
May
anyway,
I have your authorization to begin emergency repairs at this location prior to our expedition to the secondary locations?
What?
He's asking.
I want to fix things.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'll translate now since I can follow him. Every once in a while we screw up a word or two, but I get the general idea. It's like permission granted. However, may I ask, O champion, do you understand that you are in the presence of local guardians?
Local guardians of what variety?
You are the champion of your people, yes?
That is correct.
Let us at least qualify who you're dealing with.
And Mirage
Am I-
walks around the corner with a cast mark glowing on his forehead.
Just to set off,
Because
Yeah, but we don't know what those are because our champions don't do that.
I know,
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
but it's probably one of the first blatant displays of magic from A1Ls. He's
Not
like,
magic.
and he's
Look, sir, he has a magic soul gem. Shoot it.
essence.
probably
Take
actually.
samples.
We have
I
to
sit,
get rid of these models.
I sit there and I say, to explain the situation, do you understand the term exalted?
Of course, it is the official or category class designation for all champions and theoretical exalts of the creation.
Excellent.
What?
Am I to understand that you, sir, are not a construct, but an exalt?
Both are simultaneously true. My body is a result of artifice and divine genius of the great maker. However, my soul is human, the product of multiple refinements in several lifetimes required to catalyze the exalted nature of the divine armor, of the divine receptacle.
Oh.
So join the club. You're in good company.
You are in the
Yes.
You are in the presence of multiple chosen of local deities and champions. To quickly explain, how familiar are you with? And I kind of look at him when he said the Great Maker. He used the very old term for autothon, didn't he?
Autochthonia.
Autochthonia.
Autochthon.
According to Holden, the sea is silent. It's Otothan.
Well, fuck him.
Who's Holden? Who's talking?
Who said that?
Who said that?
Are you familiar with Autochthonia's allies?
Real quick, did you mean Oxons?
Yes,
The realm or the god or the primordial?
the Primordial's allies.
I think that's like
They are
super. That's like super
Obscure.
Like that's like prehistory.
There
I
are
don't know.
obscure mentions in the Tome of the Great Maker, but no definite data. We are advised to exercise caution due to their extreme power and inconsistent relationship with responsibility.
Okay,
That's a
They're
very good.
savage.
Matt says that's a very
I
good
say
thing to
that's
think.
unkind.
let me explain in short order. We have two champions of fate, and that's all I'm referring to you as in first stage here, as well as two champions of the moon in your presence.
To confirm, is the moon the very bright or the less bright lamp?
It is
Less
the
bright.
less bright nocturnal light, referring to
changes
the
a lot.
goddess Luna. Yes.
It's not that hard to
I
understand
still do
either.
not
It's the
understand
nightlight.
why creation and cannot just stick to a single illumination source and alter its luminosity as required. But I do not question such things.
That would entail getting into a large theological argument about the unconquered sun and Luna's role in the heavens, which we don't have time for.
You're right to exercise caution around those gods, by the way.
Seriously.
I'll activate my cast
Rocky
mark,
nods.
and I say, so I activate my cast mark, and I kind of look over at Masque, and I kind of nod my head.
Okay, I
his
activated too. Although
Unfortunately,
although I'm still looking at them all like marks.
yeah. I kind of say the mage stir, and I start doing greetings. I said, "This is our companion Mirage, chosen of journeys. I am mocking White Wen, chosen of Luna, referred to as the No Moon Cast. I am, I think for a moment, sorcerer engineer, using the old term. This is the Magester, who is a local teacher and fate readjuster. And
At
this
this
is
point, Mirage turns to the Magister and just mouths, "Fate readjuster?" silently and questioningly.
and I look at Matt, and this is Masque, who is a changing moon cast, referred to as.
I clear my throat and I go, "My name, a misunderstanding of massive magnitude."
No, we're not doing that.
This was a terrible mistake.
I said,
Just turning
I-
and I sit there and I just go.
You guys are
intelligent
turning this
cast.
into an episode of Gallivant.
Seriously.
Gallivant?
If you haven't watched Gallivant, you need to watch it now.
No, it's
sorry,
fine.
I'm playing a
Okay.
game right now. I can't watch Gallivant.
And I'll say, this is Masque, a chosen of Luna, aspect of the changing moon, intelligence cast. We are all here to resolve the man's issue. Am I to understand? And I refer to him heroism advancing algorithm diagram.
Do we actually have any idea of what an algorithm is in our languages?
It's math. You guys know math. Well, some
Yeah,
of
so-
you know
so
math.
I
Some of you
literally
guys
say
don't.
heroism advancing math, basically in first stage.
Masque is a social science. He and math does not mix.
Him and employment doesn't mix.
Excuse me, could you
Hey, man, I'm in a grad course for that.
would you please, speak in a tongue that I understand?
I know.
Are you familiar with the Eastern tongue?
Well, you've been speaking in Old Realm this entire time.
Yes, and I'm going to switch to that in a second. I'm trying to ask if Heroism Advancing Algorithm is familiar with local tongue.
He
There's a really
mumbles
good
to
term.
himself,
He
parsing
apparently assures
in the
us
local
text
language.
box that language barriers artificially implied or employed are stupid.
Well,
There's a really good alchemical charm for learning languages, actually.
there is, and there's probably a bunch
Personality override spike.
No, the one where it's like you just listen to people for an hour.
Yeah, you listen to them through the personality override spike and download it.
Sometimes a cigar is not a personality override spike.
Don't put it in your mouth.
Let's not talk about it in your face.
We're not allowed to talk about the personality override spike he has.
Don't put it in your mouth.
it's a little ghost.
And I sit there and I say, I do apologize, but a number of our team only speaks the local dialect, so if you know it, it would help.
He switches into a somewhat more awkward forest tongue. This talk less precise, more difficult in machine in precision terms.
Do you want me to turn into an Autochthonian and just translate for you guys?
I think that it is better when speaking
don't.
a secondary tongue to constantly speak it. It is how I learned the Eastern tongue myself.
If we use precise, and this is in Forest Tongue, if we start using any technical dialogue, you and I can switch back to first stage to be more precise as needed.
Just going to point out in the
That
background.
will be sufficient.
I just want to point out to you guys while you're, palling around in the background. Tensai has an easel up and he's doing a painting, looking at you guys, just doing his thing.
I wave at him.
Heroism Advancing Algorithm. Do you have a shortened title?
Ha!
The populate prefers to refer to me as algorithm, and per the standard abbreviation protocol, that will be sufficient.
Algorithm, I would like to introduce you to the chosen of monsters. Kaiju.
Old realm term for magnificent creature, kaiju.
Yes. Monstars, yeah, that's a good word for it. He is a crafter of great beasts, and unfortunately, we weren't informed of his exaltation recently, and we've been dealing with some politic with it. Mirage
Well,
here
it
has
wasn't
been...
your department.
Mirage...
If I might interrupt a moment, can this conversation progress during repairs? You indicated that the situation was somewhat desperate, and I'm always inclined to efficiency.
I sit there and say, good point. Just to explain the situation in shorter terms, he was using the local manse without understanding its instability and furthering its problems. And I throw out my diagram that I've been drawing. As you can see, I've been stabilizing the local geomancy as best I can, but until we deal with those external sources, it will continue to destabilize over time. If you can get your men to replant some trees or realign this geomantic flow here, as far as I understand it, this should at least buy us more time.
That will not be necessary. Please allow me to perform some repairs. As he makes the mudras of joint solder and duct tape. And golden circuit patterns spread from him across the manse and some of the adjacent area. Slowly, the trees move around, and cracks and stones merge, and generally things are repaired.
I mean, yeah, if you spend a few hours on this, you'll do 2,000 men's worth of sorceress work on it.
Jesus.
Oh, I was using the faultless repair.
Oh, Jesus
to do
Christ.
So this is going to be over pretty quick.
Wow.
So maybe 30 minutes of you just walking around the place, duct taping it.
a solid 5 hours as per the christening of Autochthonian and the work shift.
Women won't find him handsome, but he'll at least find him handy.
So
it takes a auspicious 5 hours.
So as I admire the good work being done here, I say
That exigent, by the way, is following you all the time, Hal, sketching you.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
we know where this is going out of
I-
character. But
I turned to him and I asked, like, what is his deal?
Commissioning a new propaganda poster. Nothing out of the ordinary there.
He actually shows it to
Garrett.
you. It's a watercolor of you, 75,000 feet tall, covered in generators with 6 arms, lifting up mountains and trees. It's like, oh yeah, that's what that is. Here, you can have this copy.
So
Who is that? I asked
We'll
him
need
who that
more
guy
in-
is.
It will need more inspirational dialogue, but it is a acceptable first attempt.
Oh yeah, Thank
Masque?
you. Sure.
May I introduce? I forget what the guy's name was. It was
Tensei.
Tensei. Yeah. May I introduce Belgrun Tensei, chosen of Forge Beasts. He is an exigent of giant monsters.
Hello.
He's been building, and I point at the tyrant lizard he's got half built.
You're the one who's been
An
causing all this
artificial
trouble?
destroyer.
Wait,
I
what was
say
that? What was
yes,
that?
and
What was
I'm
that, Max?
and I would like to be on my way to fulfill our end of the deal. So since you all seem to have everything well in hand,
Yeah, Mirage, you handle this. Just been
Yes.
a minor protocol issue, Masque. Careful with what
all
you
right.
say,
So in that
please.
case, I'm going to. Well, in that case, you should hold on to these. Toss the fire dust charges haphazardly through the area to the Magister, and I'm going to walk out the door
I'm not a
and
strong man.
on my way to the Heaven Gate.
I walk over and take them off the Magister and say, "Okay, let's put the safeties in these and pull the detonator charges out."
No.
Why did you think that I could carry this stuff? I'm an old man.
These were made to kill
I
a
take a
tree.
couple.
You're like 5 feet nothing.
I take a couple from Sam. I mean,
It's
from
just
Magister.
it's fire dust. It's just, hey, fire dust. It's probably
Yeah.
like, like a bunch of jade worth, because it's fire dust and you're in the northeast, as far away as you can get from it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I kind of pull Masque aside and say, "Please don't insult the chosen of giant beasts, because unfortunately, Mirage is trying to smooth this over with the local gods, so we don't have a local insurrection."
The exigent
Someone
is
who's
just
causing all this trouble. What the hell is going on with this guy?
He wasn't brought up. He wasn't brought up to date to the local deities as well as other exalts in the area. He thinks he's, feeling a godly mandate. We have a feeling that his
How did nobody tell him then?
because his patron didn't bother to deal with it.
It's stupid.
I know.
Stupid.
Yeah. You just see Wywan do a big expressive shrug.
And I have to get bothered by Spider Ichi to go help with this
There's
because
more
of
to
this
it.
loser.
No, it's not just him. Someone apparently has been triggered by him. Not to mention the fact that we have other issues in the area.
Oh, triggered.
Yeah, I got a feeling that we might have someone has been egging him on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so we need to
That's
figure out what's been going on here.
Okay.
Mirage says he can handle the local gods as well as heaven and his patron and getting him at least pointed in the right direction. Our job is to make sure that no other local gods or actors get out of hand with us here.
Okay, fine. Spider Ichi owes me for this.
I'm sure we can work something out for you, Masque. Sorry about this. I appreciate the help.
There's no problem.
Oh, okay. So you activate Mark of the Maker on the Mance. Yeah, you get a brief vision of the original architects, which were First Age Randian Supermen.
Oh god damn
Oh
it!
wow, that's going to offend him. Yeah.
Yeah, what? Shouldn't that be like?
It's
what is it?
inspirational.
Gremlin. They're gremlins. They have the
Anyway,
gremlin syndrome.
First Age Randy and Superman built this cage zoo for the 4 giant monsters suspended below and above. Basically, to talk about this place has 4 giant aquarium tanks that are square, that have monsters frozen inside because the whole place froze over. So you can walk among guide ramps on the top to look into their cages like a whale cage. And then you can also go under because there's an underwater tunnel section that you can also see them from below. And people would come here and laugh and point and take pictures and get their portraits portraits done with the giant horror monsters. Then,
Okay, that's pretty sweet.
whenever new champions rose up and needed to cut their teeth and test their mettle, they'd let one of these run rampaging across the eastern countryside, ripping up the place, until the hero and his circle mates, or the hero and his team, were able to stop it and put it back in its cage. Because that's the function of kaiju, to be a legend unto themselves and to make other people have a legend.
Monstars.
They're
Where
kaiju.
do I file a complaint against the original architects?
Unfortunately, they and the division that they were associated with went up in revolutionary smoke over 1,000+ years ago.
Terminated.
They're all dead.
We're dealing with, and I look at
Terminated.
algorithm and I say, unfortunately, we're dealing with their mess.
You've heard stories of this heroism advancing algorithm. Horrible stories, dark stories from the local machine spirits of a perfect order of sky lords and silver servants that ran this empire with clockwork efficiency as mandated by the children of Autochthon, the gods, quote unquote. And then the servant caste rose up against them, murdered them, and plunged the world into destruction. And that's why everything sucks and is horrible. And people can't read.
Wait. How does he know about that? Autochthon left before the usurpation.
I just said
No,
local machine spirits showed up. That was the beginning of this. And briefed you
sorry.
guys on the current events.
And local machine spirits could be elementals as far as they're concerned, because everything's
gods, sidereals, a behemoth.
Okay.
Yeah, and I look
Dragon
at
King.
algorithm and I just go sit there and say, and unfortunately, we as their descendants get to clean up their mess, and I just walk off.
But I still need to file a complaint, even if they are dead. It will need to be amended to the records.
After
If
you
want
guys-
a complaint to be filed, I
Well,
will
wait.
take it.
We're going to heaven, so maybe you could file a complaint in Yu-Shan.
As you're completing the fixes to it, you guys are all momentarily blinded by spotlights flicking on as the Masque comes back online and reinitializes itself, and the ice starts to melt.
Oh crap.
I look over
Yeah.
at algorithm and say, can you divert some energy to keep those frozen containers frozen, because we'd really much rather not have those beasts loosed right now.
The containers only
Activating
froze because the
command the
place
wheel?
was broken.
Can we redesign
Activating
it?
Yeah, but you'd probably need resources. You'd have to re-aspect the mats. I'm not going to lie, you don't have to be that worried about this thing's thawing, and it is thawing very fast, because most of these things float to the bottom of their tank.
Oh, they're
can I
dead.
activate command the wheels to stop that from freezing?
But then- But then couldn't the exigent take those parts and make a crazy new monster with them?
Yeah, but he's not going to
Probably.
make a crazy giant super behemoth, because then nobody would be able to fight it.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can just re-break it in the same way.
But command the wheels, does that do anything into stop?
Freezing isn't an option that exists for this mats. That was a function of it breaking.
Could
You
we break
fixed
it
it.
again in the same way?
Yeah, fuck with it. That's a good idea. But what did I describe these as? There was a squid, a giant moth that had gills. Was there a reptilian? I don't remember. And there was another thing.
Wait, now that the man's is more or less fixed, are the original containment systems in place, so even if they thaw, they'll still be in their cages?
Yeah.
And the cages lasted, 2,000 years without regular maintenance? We should be fine.
And you just gave it regular maintenance.
Okay, I was just
unless it
worried.
blows up from the other manses screwing
You've
with things.
actually been able to clear out the 2 of the 3 manses affecting this because you just fixed the geometry. It's not fate aligned anymore either. It's back to its original aspects. I think it was wood originally. The only one's a 3rd manse, and that's just because it looks like someone's actually created a direct physical hard line from here to that manse.
What can we do with that man's? Can it heal people? Is it a back-to-tank thing, or what do we got?
This manse is a zoo that holds giant monsters, and every once in a while somebody throws the lever and one of these 4 monsters gets loose until a solar or lunar kills it.
Before we leave, I take the time to align myself with the manse.
Mocking White Wind bought a zoo!
Well,
Starring
I mean,
Mark Wahlberg.
I thought we said last time that the manse was that the Mance's power was tied up with the system.
It doesn't generate a Hearthstone or anything, but you can quote-unquote attune to it in that you can log in.
Basically, if I'm on present, isn't it like if I'm on the Mance in the area of the Mance itself, it's like I have one essence more or one effort more, just as long as I'm here.
No, it's all tied up into keeping the monsters. All of that's been reboot. It's very energy efficient.
But being attuned to it also means I get control over it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Assuming I'm not there and draw.
Assuming what now?
Oh no, assuming I just don't use the back door I have into every mechanical thing.
Yeah, Artifice is amazing.
I'm not opposed to having the other exalts in the area attuned to this Mance, just so one, we have it as like a waypoint. Actually, that's not a bad. I do suggest that. It's like everyone, if you want to attune to this Mance, we can use it as a waypoint so we don't get lost.
Oh, that's a
Exalted
good
is
idea. I'll do that.
fairly pissed, like 5 hours later, because he comes back from his lab covered in oil.
What happened?
So, you know how I was using some of the tools there as anesthetic to keep the creature alive?
I did not.
Turns out there are larger dispensers of them in the Mance for much larger creatures, because it's a hospital for these guys. And somebody left it on before it broke.
Ooh.
I can't feel my face.
So wait, it's been shooting out goo for
No,
the last 5
2,000
minutes.
years.
The last 5 minutes.
Just the last
Masque
5
doesn't
minutes.
know how this stuff works.
Because I had
It's-
tapped one of those lines for my anesthetic.
Yeah, and
That's
apparently
gross.
someone left the main line on before the place went offline. So, do you? I look over at algorithm. Can we shut that line off? Actually, wait. I'm attuned to it. I reach out with Essence and say, "Can I turn off the line?"
It's not reaching out with Essence so much as you tapping one of the sigils and hologlyph at first stage iconographs on the wall and just moving it around like an interface until it turns off.
Okay, I turn it off. There you go. And I sit there and I point it out to the exigent and say, "Okay, you can control the flow with these sigils here to keep your other creatures stable."
He just starts tapping on it, and he just keeps doing it for a couple minutes, and then the lights turn off and on, and then they change color. And then that music starts playing through the whole place, that nice first age pipe, wind, and string instrument. He's like, there we go. Perfect.
Okay. Quicker we get out of here, the better. And by the way, the numbness should wear off within 4 hours.
Have any of you guys seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes.
Is he
Yes.
doing that?
He
That
is sitting
scene right
down in his chair, and he's just stopping to move, and he's going to sleep, and he's going to go into a bit of shock.
That's a good idea.
He's going to ride this one out.
That's a good idea.
You know what? I'm going to be nice about it and at least wipe the residuals off him so he doesn't stay in like a 10-hour coma.
He goes into anaphylactic shock. He'll be fine. Give him a couple hours.
He's an
jeez.
exalt. He'll be fine.
I love how
He'll walk it off.
He goes into anaphylactic shock and he's fine. Don't worry.
He'll
Don't
walk
worry
it off.
about it.
Actually, is he going to be okay?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Okay. He's an exalt. His system. If he was mortal, he'd be dead. If he was anything else but immortal, he'd be dead.
Right.
But yeah, that giant room where he has the tyrant lizard, yeah, it's made for much bigger things, and it's now trying to do its best to maintain the lizard and keep it alive while he works on it. You know, pulling out parts of his spinal column, enhancing it, that sort of thing.
Ew.
I'm not sure
Let's-
I'm very
Um,
thrilled at this outcome.
algorithm. Thank you for your assistance in this endeavor. Shall we continue on to the external site that still seems to be causing the geomancy to screw up?
That seems optimal.
Would your men like to now come inside now that we've stabilized the Mance?
Yes, I will have them secure the facility.
Warn them not to disturb the exigent because of his power and his social instability.
Don't let them
not-
touch anything.
Well, they up in the upper queues, they're fine
This
because it
place
was
is kind of idiot-proof. Hence,
Yeah,
you all being safe here.
well
Hey.
that and the upper levels were probably designed for guests and stuff like that, so they can comfortably rest up there.
Oh, no,
Just-
no, they're on duty. They're not going to be arresting. They're going to be putting a palisade up in front of the door so people don't get in.
Good thinking, algorithm. I like the way you work.
Maybe they could put some like railings up so no one falls down.
There are railings. There are railings everywhere. This is not a Cathonia. This place is lousy with railings.
Yeah, but they're probably all gross and rusted.
No, they're fine. He spent 5 hours being 2,000 people.
I'm trying to find help. Give them things to do.
They're going to go around and document.
Everything.
Oh, they'll be here for the next 17 years.
Yeah, they might.
Okay.
And they'll feel proud for their effort. Just
You guys come back, all 5 of them are stitched together into one giant scout regulator. It's like, look, I fixed it. Look out, guys, I'm throwing garbage at you because that's what you left me with.
Oh, God. This took a dark turn.
yeah, we'll see.
They're like, each one of them's like an arm and leg, and one of them's the torso like Voltron. They're like, no, we're fine like this.
Yeah, great. He made the thing.
Well,
It's
this is
occasionally do that, and it would be a holy experience.
Look, Hero Advancing Algorithm, we're like you.
Oh, jeez.
this is why
Need
I
to go.
advise Algorithm tell his people to not mess with the exigent too much because he's a bit dangerous.
Yeah, so stay outside even if it's raining, and keep guns pointed in case anyone comes in to disturb the crazy man.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll work. I like that one.
They set up
Yeah.
a little, they set up a palisade or like a bunker and some, what do you call it, trenches and stuff just around the area.
If you help
Sure.
us out with this algorithm, I think we can set we have some local trade rights with the Holton government. We can probably set you and your men up with some resources in the meantime as compensation for your effort in this endeavor.
Such a situation would be much appreciated. I'm still having trouble ensuring that this expedition is sufficiently profitable to justify a class of continuing investment.
Profits?
Uh,
Jeez, he's spending too much time in creation already.
Hey,
Oh no, we
Exhibitions
have marketing
have to be profitable.
To the society.
and we have money in Class Lab, so we understand profit.
may I introduce you to the Magister?
Hi.
So yes, with Heroism Advancing Algorithm, you're able to see that there is an actual ditch carved from this manse going all the way across the countryside to another manse.
Holy
How
crap.
far are we talking?
Like a day's walk.
Oh, you mean like an hour's walk thanks to Mirage?
Yeah, except he's not here.
Or-
He went to heaven on his way to his home planet.
He
So I'll
got
just
there.
fabricate a horseless carriage. I'll just fabricate us a horseless carriage, and we'll all ride it on artificial leather seats.
Can I web swing over there?
Yes.
This
Okay,
is
I do
creepy.
What?
No,
we
it's
have
like
steam
Spider-Man.
engines.
No, I've never seen one of these before.
What? The horseless carriage?
It's
Yes.
a tunnel crawler.
Interesting.
Yes,
Sure.
it probably has spider legs.
Yeah.
Because in order
It do-
to you occasionally to move in weird directions.
There's so many spiders in Autochthonia. And yeah, this thing won't work without you, though. It's not like they have their own power or anything. But as long as you're here... Actually, I think it's Fred Flintstone style. You're sitting in the cockpit, and you're just turning the wheels as fast as you can, making the legs go, because you're 2,000 people. Oh my god.
Oh god. No, that's too fast.
Must go faster, must go
Cabin
faster.
I kind of like, well, Maester, I guess we were in
Actually,
for a ride.
oh Christ, guys, it's kind of Gurren Lagann style. You have your arms in these sockets, you have your legs in these sockets, and they're just spinning in their sockets, powering the wheels of this thing. Oh,
But there
Jesus.
isn't a drill on the front.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are able to make it that day's walk across the landscape, following this ditch that's been dug, that's been filled with this kind of mud-aspected kind of essence reagent that has a lot of stickiness to it. And when you follow it, Mocking White Wind, you are very familiar with this place.
Uh-oh.
It's the spider nest.
Oh.
Going to use Mark of the Maker on the stuff to see if it's naturally produced or artificial, because to fill a ditch that long would require a lot of material.
It was
Yeah.
artificially produced, but the spider web material is a thaumaturgical reagent.
And while we're traveling, I will turn on the subtle eye of knowing, which, with a moment's concentration, you can discern any low magic or theurgy active in the area, identifying its general function. Other forms of magic present are noted, but only a vague sense of danger or wheel is imparted, the gaze immediately identifies any third-gen or low magic practitioners in sight.
Someone is using arachnomancy to create a web of geomancy in the area to poison the dragon line under the manse.
Do I recognize that as well?
Oh, yeah. As soon as they start pointing out, you're like, hey, I could do that if I wanted.
Hey, who taught them that trick?
So this is I kind of wave Masque over while he's web slinging along with us. I say, this place was pointed out to me by Ichi. Are you familiar with this site?
What do I know about the site?
Ichi never mentioned a place called the Spider's Nest to you.
Part of the bigger on this man's. See what
Well,
it's for.
This man's was, well, before we go in there, I was warned that we might have some form of local hostility. The man's was an old facility that unfortunately has been overrun by something. We probably need to...
What was its original function?
Not entirely sure. I was just informed of its location and that it was a mild hazard.
Can I try examining this stuff and maybe see what differences there is than what I'm used to, if that can tell us anything?
This stuff is made to poison a ley line and cause a geomantic problem. And Mark of the Maker on the Spider Manse for Heroism Advancing Algorithm reveals that this manse was constructed a few centuries ago by a bunch of spider spirits, basically converging and deciding to plant their bodies here. So this would be an area for spiders to gather in and have a refuge from a flood that was coming. And it's a naturally occurring manse.
Well, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but the ley line poisoning, that's recent.
Yeah, that's recent. As recent as when you guys first noticed that it was happening.
Can Algorithm and I disrupt the ley line poisoning?
Oh, yeah, totally. Once you get to the manse, you can just do it from there with Algorithm's insane manpower powers and your geomancy and Masque's arachnomancy. You'll clean it up real quick.
Can we offer the man to do other things?
Oh, yeah, if you take it.
So we have to actually take control of the manse to fix the flow.
Yeah, it would probably help. Else someone could probably just set this back up again.
Let's start with command the wheel on it. Oh, no, wait, it's natural. Never mind.
So, yeah, the line heads into a very heavily thicketed kind of glade that has a lot of overrun grass and wheat and what's the term? Almost like a moss, like a matted bit of moss. And you could tell from the way you're looking at it that one part of the hill is lower than the other part and leads into a trapdoor spider nest that's big enough for 5 people to come out of.
Can I talk to it?
The manse?
No, the spider.
There's no spider. There's a trapdoor spider entrance. That's the entrance to the manse.
Oh, okay. Because the arachnomancy, I figured there would. Are there spiders around there that I could talk to?
You're always about 5 feet away from a spider in real life.
Yeah, but most spiders are stupid. I want to talk to one of these guys.
They didn't go to school.
Are we dealing with this?
Oh,
yeah, actually. The hills are alive with the sound of spiders.
Yeah. So basically, we're in Australia right now, and we're looking at a place that's been through spider rain.
It's twilight to dusk is falling, and you can actually see on the reflection of your essence banners and your lights the emerald eyes of the spider eyes moving all around you, which is a thing you can see if you're out at night.
I'm frankly not terrified at all by this. I'm like, oh, guys, this is great. I can talk to these guys. You guys do your thing. I'm going to figure this stuff out. Get it all figured out.
We're going to start with a zillion spotlights.
Yeah.
Zillion spotlights.
Everything's cool. This is great.
Mage
Spiders.
Yes.
I would
stay on. I would prepare yourself because my hackles are raised, and there's something. Not the spiders, but there's something wrong here.
I'm always prepared. He says.
Oh, the ley line's being poisoned, by the way. I thought you should know.
Yeah. The local ley line structure is deliberately being poisoned. So, excuse me, I'm going to armor up here. Claws come out.
Still unnerves me.
Yeah, except it's from my fingertips, so I'm more like Lady Depthstrike.
I imagine instead of making snicked, it just makes the copyright symbol.
I just sniff. I'm not that impressed.
What?
No, it's fine.
Actually, do you have the claws that catch?
For a beginner. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have that, But no, those spikes are very nice. For a beginner.
Oh my god.
Great.
No. Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Are you ready
Lunar,
for the spider
Lunar
nest?
Wang.
Algorithm's going to activate Body of Burning Light.
No way, you're going to scare away the
jeez.
spiders. I seriously
Warn us
want
of
to
that.
ask them who's doing this.
There's a detonation of solar light as... What was it? I think for like a mile you give off pure sunlight. Your AC becomes 3. You're impossible to target by creatures who operate by means of vision. Your weapons and armor attacks count as magical weapons up to a range of 200 feet. It
I am
counts as
now
natural
blind.
sunlight for creatures susceptible to natural sunlight. So any hopping vampires in the area fucked off.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Also, by the way, the mocking white wind thing, that wasn't in character, so
Yeah.
Oh no, it totally was.
Words hurt.
You're the real monster here,
That's
not
the
the
real.
spiders.
That's
Yeah.
the real imperfection of That's the real. What is it? That really gets through perfect defenses.
Imperfection of invulnerability or whatever.
Yeah, there's no perfect defense for harmful words.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. The sidereal one, duck fade that lets you.
You sound
duck,
like Dwight now.
Where
Incorrect.
is that? The duck fade, I think, or
Yeah, you can dodge bad news,
Yep.
taxes, bar tests,
yeah, it's great.
paternity tests.
There's also the Lunar one where someone sits there and tries to like issue a command or try and hurt you with words where it's what was it command to fly or something like that, where
Yeah,
you take
yeah.
what they said and you completely bend it to something ridiculous that is impossible and you just pass it off like whatever.
And then
Okay.
there's the Ceciline one where you make up a legal precedent to say whatever they're doing is illegal.
So you're wrong, Masque. You're wrong, and you should feel wrong.
Okay. Yeah, but now apparently I have perfect defenses against that, so I don't feel bad.
So-
All right, guys. So the spider
All right.
nest, the spider.
Wait.
cave.
Before he explodes, can I ask the spiders who was doing this?
You were asking when the explosion happened, and they don't really understand what you mean by who is doing this. They don't have a concept of that. They're spiders.
No, I just
And they're
mean,
probably
like, the
blind.
ley line poisoning.
They don't really comprehend like the greater scope of that. They're spiders.
They're not
Fucking
cool spiders. They're not fate spiders. They're not Batimian spiders. They're just plain old spiders.
I mean, if there were like older spiders, like 100-year spiders around here, they would be able to have a conversation with you about this.
Query
They
the
just
local
know-
custodian spirits if any new and powerful entities have recently come to the area.
The spiders do tell you that hero spiders have been in the area, like champions of spider kind.
Are there any like those Halton smart spiders around?
Adabeasts?
Yeah,
that
Ada or
might be
even
what
like a
they mean.
sand. A sand spider would be even better because I could just talk to him.
That might be it. Adabeasts are the fully intelligent ones, by the way.
So
Oh,
would be,
okay.
so would certain wood elementals. that
San
pick
are the
spider
ones
ethics.
that are kind of mentally incompetent.
They're like I thought
Oh,
those
smart
were
for
like ape
animals.
smart. They're like ape.
Adabeasts are fully cognizant and are their own citizens. Sand
Yeah.
beasts are basically the infirm and children and don't have full rights, but it's really shitty of you to treat them badly.
Yeah, I thought that they're like really smart for spiders. They're like chimp smart.
Yeah, and then there are wood spiders, which are just, the local elemental spiders, but the spiders
Yeah, but-
say heroes of spider kind. They don't give you any more because they're spiders.
Okay, bye spiders. Is there any?
They only
is
know
there an
words
Ada
like
spider
ball
around?
and good.
Well, technically, Masque, you would qualify as a hero of spider kind.
Okay.
The Magister would too, kinda.
Maybe.
If he used his
I
abilities
know,
that way.
wouldn't
Anyway, any heroic spiders would live inside the Spider-Mans.
Yeah, we're gonna go inside, obviously.
There we go.
mhm.
And none of us have to turn on our anima banners or cast marks because algorithm is supplying all the light.
I would request that you warn us next time you are about
Yeah.
to activate the light.
Request denied.
Max, next time you're going to
Oh,
do that,
rude.
instead, don't. Does it make that noise too?
It does. It does kind of make the Inception noise whenever he poses dramatically.
Well, the thing is I've been around. Mirage and I have dealt with solo before, so I'm actually used to this. All I do is do the nictating membrane with my eyes thing and just keep walking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna change my eyes to like a species that can deal with that stuff.
Why would you do that while I'm looking at you?
I take out a piece of cloth and say, "Wrap it around your eyes if you absolutely have to. Just don't look directly at him."
Can I morph a pair of sunglasses on?
I don't know. I'm not sure. You could have sunglasses. That's not a problem. I don't know about anything anymore.
I wear some sunglasses.
I mean, Hero Advancing Algorithm could probably give you a welding mask.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Good idea.
Is that what you do, Hero Advancing Algorithm?
Indeed. Along with conjuring myself up a crossbow. Oh, and anybody else who would like flamethrowers, crossbows, anything really.
I'm
We all good with explosives?
Flamethrowers aren't good in a forest.
Do you have transmutation?
No.
You'll need transmutation to give yourself the exotic ammunition, like flamethrower ammunition. But that's like the next thing on the list, and then you'll be able to basically make all the things you'll need.
Okay. Hey, so just a rapid-fire crossbow right now.
A strange alien-looking bow that just has a large brick full of small bow arrows in it.
I appreciate your gift, but I don't know how to use it.
And honestly,
and I do not need it. I'm afraid.
Algorithm, most of us here are more than capable of defending ourselves. And I just kind of shall I lead?
Should I just turn into spiders and just infiltrate the place?
Let us go in.
Yeah, go ahead, Masque. Do that.
Okay. I'm spiders now. That's the sound of it.
He detonates into spiders.
That's how it's. Yeah, I just explode.
A wave of carpet spiders.
Yeah, I just say keep pace with us, please.
I can't. I write okay in webbing.
Charlotte's Web style.
Yeah.
He's a lunar. He understands what I'm saying. He doesn't have to respond. He just keeps pace with us.
I know, but I want to.
Oh, that's right. You're that kind of lunar.
Want.
Why wouldn't I respond?
You guys head deep into the spider nest. There are spiders everywhere fleeing from the light, but not your ally spiders, your buddy spiders. This place has large cyclopean caves that have webbing everywhere, ancient old webbing. There are sconces on the wall that are lit with oil torches that have are flickering out. And slowly but surely, you head down to a large cavern that overlooks a lake that has just water spiders everywhere, like water striders walking on the water. And a giant-ass fossilized spider is... 3 of them are hanging from the ceiling.
Whoa.
Oh, it's like Duke's Dear Freya.
Well, yeah, because the 3 spiders made this place as a, not artificial, as in Cyclopean as in old and ancient. These spiders fossilized their bodies to make themselves mants. They're enormous. They're tyrant lizard-sized.
I tell them, don't talk to the water striders. They're jerks.
Okay.
Something whizzes by your form, Heroism Advancing Algorithm. Hello?
Can we see what it was?
You still here, Max?
Yeah? What
Perfect.
is it?
Alright, so some spiders, like the Goliath spider, are able to fire off their back hairs as little spikes that can cut into you and blind you and cut you up, right? That's not what was thrown.
They can make you itchy.
By the wall, by where you were walking by, is a large obsidian and iron-shaped throwing star in the shape of a spider.
Nice.
Oh, my spiders.
And
I say nice.
And as your light illuminates the area, there are 10 men and women in black cloth outfits covering their face and their bodies with spider-shaped throwing stars and tiny swords at their side, all hanging out in the walls and ceiling like spiders, but they're just people, like ninjas, ready to attack you guys.
Citizens, you are required to surrender to my custody at once. This is
Hold on,
unofficial.
algorithm. I see. Hold on, algorithm.
Well, you can't. You're a spider, so you're writing that out as he's talking.
So
Oh shit. Well,
that's the
no,
problem
well,
with being
so
spiders.
it's really
They can't
fast.
speak.
It's really fast. Oh no, my one weakness. I'm gonna like say that I'm their god. I'm just gonna like super impress them.
Sure. So what were you saying first, though? Heroism advancing algorithm? You were giving them an
Oh, I
ultimatum?
was going to arrest them and using my authority as a joint and classlet at Halton and Enforcer.
Okay. So
I
that's
assume they're going to ignore me, but
all right. That's you, Magister. What's your move?
I don't think I really need to do anything at the moment.
Joe, do you have a move?
Actually, I'll look at them. Am I familiar with them at all?
They look like ninjas that have spider weapons. One of them even has punching daggers shaped like spiders.
Oh god, these fucks.
I sit there and I say, "Identify yourself, warriors."
These guys are not with me.
All right, Masque. What's your move? Depose as their god?
Well, yeah, okay. I'm going to do like the whole carpet of spiders thing again, except that this time I'm going to turn into a giant ass, gross anthropomorphic spider monster using claws that catch.
All right. They're going to engage you in combat.
Really?
Hey, here we go.
I'm going to be like, you guys are scrubs.
All right. So 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2 each are going to throw ninja shurikens at you. Are you ready for this?
Are we ready for this?
Oh, I'm going to. Can I use a miracle?
Your AC is 3. That's why that's what the targeting thing references here in an advancing algorithm. And Masque, you want to do a miracle?
Yeah, for my AC, I like to use a deception miracle and make it so that it's Does anybody know Warhammer 40k?
A little.
Yes.
Yeah, you know how Eldar have that
Hollow
illusion
field.
field?
Yeah. So basically, he's doing the short range teleport trick.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
basically, like there's like a whole ton of illusions, and they're not like hitting the right one.
all right. So
Because
your
of-
AC is now 3 because you're using an AC booster for deception.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Spider-Man time. Look out. Here they come.
Radioactive blood.
That was terrible.
Everyone post their AC as just a single number, please. Just so I can reference it while I do the rolls.
Is he strong? Listen, bud.
They have thaumaturgical blood.
Question, action. That can happen an action gift. Can that happen anytime?
An action gift must be taken on your turn, and it takes up your entire action.
Oh well.
All right, and we're back recording. So, here they come. Everyone but Sam is +3 for them, so... /roll 1d20 plus... Oh, that's not a plus. +9. Miss. Hit. So... Malky White Wind, you're hit once. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Algorithm, you're hit twice.
Oh no.
Jordan, you're hit twice.
Oh.
And, oh god, the Magister is hit twice.
Rough time, guys.
You've all been hit by throwing stars. A couple of the spider ninjas have actually thrown webbing at you with kunais attached to them. Throwing stars. One of them swung in on a rope and kicked you in the chest.
Ow.
They're beating you up for a mighty... Four damage for Joe.
Okay.
It's actually fairly substantial. No, wait, 7. 2 damage, sorry. My mistake, I'm drunk.
Okay.
Oh.
So how much on me?
You took 2 damage, Joe.
Oh.
And Robot Man, or Robot Man, you took 2. And then another 2. And then Jordan took 2. And then 2 again. And Magister takes 5.
5?
Yeah.
4 damage hit.
Not Magister.
Is there a way?
You can tell that there are 4 of them holding back, going back to the spider temple, and they're sitting down on like little tiny overseeing platform chairs with their fingers tented, watching you intently.
So that almost killed me.
These are just minor mortals too.
No, but it's the fact that we're getting hammered with multiple attacks.
2 hits each, bitches. I hope you fucking saved.
Yeah, I did.
Meh. Alright, it's all you guys. You have 6 Spider-Men fighting you. 2 each.
I need to
8.
save?
8.
I'm going to crack my neck one way and then the other, and then I'm just going to get to work.
Oh, Jesus Christ, and ceasing barrage technique's happening. One moment.
People are gonna die.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And what were you doing, Jordan? You just said you were doing something?
Oh, well, I'm going to, let's see. I am going to commit effort to use the venom. And, yeah, I'm just going to get in there. I'm just going to, start roaring. And Masque acts completely unlike how he was acting before. Now he's more like a nasty feral monster.
All right. Hiro's advancing algorithm threw down unceasing barrage technique, which means faster than you thought he could. He has 2 rapid-fire crossbows, and he's firing so many crossbows into the air that they're shooting down ranged attacks. You all have an invincible defense against ranged attacks until his next turn.
Oh.
Okay.
Also, I get to make a normal ranged attack.
You do. There are 2 Spider-Men throwing shurikens at you that you're shooting down with your arrows.
So, since I don't know their AC, just roll the deck.
Oh, their AC's 4.
Damn, that's pretty good.
They've unlocked the secrets of the spider.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Womp womp.
No, Bab.
Okay,
Well, you're still stopping them from doing ranged attacks. They'll have to get into melee.
well, speaking
then
about
I'll just-
melee,
I would
Frey
like...
die, or do we do that later?
Frey die? Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Roll your Frey dice, guys.
Oh, right.
Remember those? Remember Frey die?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
do not get beaten by unworthy foes, guys.
Oh, it's 1d8, not 1d4.
So...
Oh!
Oh, Magister.
Magister's just kind of like shoving. No! Away.
you just,
How was
he's
it I
just having an
rolled
awful
well
day.
in a row?
Get off of me!
All right,
Stop
so
it!
your
Stop
Prey
it!
dice combined are able to knock down a single one of the 8 Spider-Men.
We're so cool.
Yeah, you guys gang up on one that flung in on his webbing.
Okay.
You kicked the shit out of him.
I love the idea of these 4 like superheroes just
Like
kicking this dude while he's
kicking and
down.
curb stomping. His costume's ripped. He's like, ah, God, why?
Yeah, like he just tripped and fell on the ground. And we're just like, oh, get him, boys.
Well, algorithm is keeping the range fire off of us. The ones that are attacking, I pretty much just leap right into them, claws out.
I don't mean to give you guys advice on how to run your fight, but a single miracle of
Corona Fury.
area smite, Corona Fury, might just waste all of them.
Well, actually, let me finish.
Okay.
When I land at them, I'm literally spikes everywhere.
Ooh.
Shapeshifting.
That's more like it.
Shapeshifting smite.
Yes.
Oh my Christ.
Oh, he's doing.
Basically, when I land, there are owl talons and extra limbs bursting out of me, just grabbing and ripping people's heads off.
That's horrifying.
He's doing the thing from Prototype.
Pretty much. Oh, and bird claws and extra faces just erupting from my shoulders and back and stuff, and I'm just like, enough of this.
That's a little.
Okay, Corona Fury does 1d8 damage for every 2 levels you have rounded up, so 1d8 damage to everyone.
And he does mean everyone.
Like us?
No, he jumped into the middle of the fray over there, so it's with a 30-foot radius. I'm assuming you're
Please?
clever enough to.
No, but we have a defense against ranged attacks.
Yes, I shoot arrows at all his little extra limbs.
I mean, I don't see why not. It is a ranged attack. It's a explosion.
FYI, the faces, little much.
So, all of these Spider-Men take 25% of their health and damage because they only have 4 hit points.
Nice.
So all of the Spider-Men are down to 3 HP.
Nice.
They're all jumping away, shielding themselves. They have talon marks and teeth and stuff in their stomach. They're not doing too hot.
All right. Whose turn? Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can't follow that one up that well.
Sure you can. Smite.
I mean, you can beat dozens of spiders everywhere.
All right. I don't know. I do the maximum spider for Marvel vs. Capcom. No, I guess I'll just go in there and then I'll do the same thing that Mocking White Wind did, except that I just shoot webbing everywhere, and then I pull them in and just turn to a blender.
Jesus Christ.
You people are terrifying. It's almost like you are terrifying and perhaps arrogant.
It's like I made some kind of terrible Beastman transformation.
Roll your 1d8 against all of them.
What happened to being nice people?
Not to interject too much, but
Holy shit.
I was going to say, Corona Fury does have a clause on it about being affected by things that are similar to your own powers.
Oh yeah, they both have shapeshifting. They're good to go. Okay, so all of the Spider-Men have 1 hit point left.
Are any of them thinking about retreating or anything?
Yeah, I'm getting to that. In your first turn... Oh wait, Sam, are you doing anything, Sam?
Let's see. Do I see that they're...
You could,
Do I see that they're about to flee, or...
They all have 1 hit point left.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to try to staunch my bleeding.
Pull out that spider shuriken. It skitters away after you throw it out of your stomach.
You're an Exalt. You don't bleed.
Exalts bleed too. Do I not? When I cut my arm, does it not bleed red?
Only when it's narratively interesting.
You're not going to get infected. You're not going to catch the sepsis. The yellow shakes.
Also, I'd like to change it. I will start. I'm hitting them non-lethally.
I think we.
So all the Spider-Men surrender. They just start going, whoa, 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 in Eastern. Start putting their hands up, putting their weapons away. What is going on? Why? Oh, why? Oh, jeez, look at Ichi. Ichi's a common name.
Yeah.
Ichi is a killer.
Yes.
Is there any particular reason you attacked us with no warning?
Yeah, because you came into the training den. What the hell?
So that's... I'm back.
Citizens, I did warn you that if you do not comply,
is that a machine man?
Would be necessary.
Apparently it is. He is a machine man. Or she. Actually,
what?
I didn't ask that.
Wait, what the hell, you guys? You're too big for this. They point at the 2 Lunars.
Too big for this?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I'm still a mass of limbs and stuff that are slowly moving back.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
I'm still the man.
He
spider
gathers
over
himself
here.
and starts to look less like a person who's just been beat up and it became a concussion of shurikens, but rather his old teacher role. We did not come here for your paltry spider-related ninja activities. We
Sorry,
came
my
here to
cat's
look
in here again.
straightly for the man's itself. We have business outside of yours.
One of them that's clearly the leader. He has a gold spider on his black ninja gi.
Masque.
Yeah, Masque, can you kill your mic? We're getting a lot of background.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
The leader spider ninja walks up with like his gold mark's been slashed by one of those spikes. All right. I think there's been a miscommunication.
You work for Ichi?
Well, yeah.
Oh my god.
And he
Which
sent
Ichi?
me. He's a contact of ours. And did Ichi tell you someone was going to show up?
Yeah, he said some newbies were coming on in and to test their mettle to see if they could survive the spider trap. And he puts up his arms like in a spooky kind of hand gesture.
Is he telling the truth?
Yes?
I can use deceit.
You can. He's telling the truth.
I fold my extra limbs back in. Right now, I've basically got a giant cloak of bird wings and claws that are slowly advancing into my back. And I kind of sit there and I relax and I go, Ichi, are you here?
From the water, a large woolly spider comes out. Hey. Like the spider's mouth opens up and a human face is inside.
Ichi, you didn't warn your alkalites that we were coming?
Well, when I talked to you guys originally, there's only like 3 of you tops.
I facepalm with 8 hands.
You do realize we're dealing with a local
Paradigmatic breakdown of communication, thus illustrating why it is necessary to always ensure proper documentation.
Yeah, what he said.
This was part of your training exercise to sharpen you up, make you expect the unexpected. I led you on, made you think this place was full of spiders, and it was just people spiders.
Rat droppings.
That's a stupid. We're the same rank. We don't even have a rank. Ichi.
That sounds like an postpartum excuses.
No, I'm really angry about this.
No, I meant. Sorry, never mind.
No. I'm saying it to Ichi.
Postpartum?
Sorry, I meant like post factum.
Oh, post factum. Sorry.
Yes.
Postpartum.
Rain
Post-childhood.
Deathflyer was really clear. He wanted to make sure you guys cut your teeth in the real world. So, after I learned the secrets of the spider from Masque, I taught it to all these mortals here over a couple of weeks. They embraced the secrets of the spider, and I just kind of let them go with it.
You wanted us to cut our teeth on the secrets of the spider that I taught you.
Well, there's 10 of them.
I'm just finding it amusing.
Is
out
this
of
your
character
man's Ichi?
The Spider-Mance? For me,
Yeah.
the guy who's a woolly spider with a man face,
Yeah.
who's called Spider Ichi.
Yeah.
That's full of
this is totally his-
Spider-Man ninjas.
This is.
Ichi, I asked you if you had a place that I could use for.
Prove ourselves.
Yeah. I'm kind of sitting there saying, Ichi, when I asked you for a place to use as a base of operations, I didn't ask to, be used as training material.
Well, you were trained by my training material, and now, I just coughed, that you've overcome the secrets of the spider's nest, I bequeath it to you as a lunar domain.
Shut up, Ichi.
No, don't say that out loud.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Now
I'm as
can I
old as
begin
he is.
retooling it?
He just kind of
He has
crawls
no-
up one of the stone parts and goes onto one of the nearby stone bridges over the water and kind of just uprights himself into man form. He's he's from House Pelops from the realm. He's in kind of realmy patrician robes and stuff. There we go.
That makes me feel odd.
I turn into a copy of him.
Why?
Dick move.
Why?
Dick move. So yeah, you guys can have the manse. It's all yours. Thank you for not killing my students.
Actually, wouldn't they be Masque's students since they're using his techniques?
No, I taught them. Masque didn't teach them. Masque looks like me right now, so yes, technically they are Masque students. In that Masque is imitating me.
No, I am you right now.
Oh my god.
We've discussed this.
You wanted the manse. I gave you the manse. You have the manse. I gave you a test.
Okay.
How did you guys find this place? Why did you come here?
Well, why do you have a essence line running over to, and I wave off in the direction of the other man's, poisoning the local geomancy?
I didn't do that. Did you guys do that? They all kind of look around. The gold shirt raises his hand. Well, you see, my lords, my silver sentinels, what we had thought is that there was this terror, molesting Huzzah, and we could turn his tools to good when we infiltrated the place to find out about it, because you guys were talking about these monsters and wanted to find the source. So when we found out, instead of telling you, we took the initiative as spider lords that, with our spider techniques, and started to pervert the geomancy of the Manse to make sure that his own pride would be his downfall.
And did you account for the fact that the downfall would involve a 25-mile or 20, like a 4-league wide explosion and an uncapped wild zone manifesting right next to Huzzah?
Another spider woman puts up her hand. Well, kind of. See, we thought we put a nest of spiders in the Manse, and we figured that when the Manse detonated, everything inside would die, but the spiders would be infused with the power of Gaia and become large hero spiders that we could then train to be our Atabeasts.
You be dead too.
No, we're over here.
Yes, but the chain reaction would go back along the ley line you damaged and cause this Manse to be polluted by that energy.
Well, we would have moved further away.
How did you manufacture such quantities of pharmaceutical reagents? I estimate in excess of several 100,000 gallons.
Oh, there's a lot of spiders here. We milked them. We spent a lot of time milking spiders here.
Wait, this is all spider venom?
Well, not venom, but spider silk, spider wool, spider fur, spider poison. Most of our things are made of spiders. Spider metal from some of the metal spiders we found.
Found metal spiders.
Yeah, they come out of the earth. We think they're wild mutants, and they have, like, metally fangs. Like, they're half
You know
rock,
what?
half metal.
You know what, Ichi? It's fine. We'll take the Manse. We'll take these alkalites unless you're using them.
Well,
You know what, Ichi? I think you are making this all up as you go along.
No, legitimately, Rain Deathflyer told me to test you guys. He just didn't, give me instructions because he's busy.
Is he telling the truth?
Yeah.
Rain Deathflyer?
I'm upset at him.
Rain Deathflyer is a local elder.
He's busy. He's dealing with the Bull of the North stuff. Guys, the world doesn't revolve around you guys.
No, but there's a certain civility that, you could have actually thrown a real problem at us rather than manufacturing one.
Well, what if you guys got hurt?
We're chosen
Magister
of
almost
Luna.
died.
Well, exactly, and that was the manufactured problem.
Did you tell the Chosen of Beasts
Who?
to do so as well? It seems strange that there's so many people eager on testing your proving your worth.
Yeah, did you tell your alkalites when they went to... Well, of course not. Your alkalites didn't realize that there was another chosen, an exigent.
You mean the guy
operating.
in the Manse?
He's an exigent.
Ah, gross. What's his shtick? Spiders? Is it spiders?
Nope. Giant
Monsters.
monsters.
Huh. Well, that explains a few things. Well, like one thing. Could you break it down for me, or break it down for the acolytes? I'm pretty sure they don't get what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we need to tell the acolytes anything? Go home!
Well, this is their home until, I give them a new home, so...
No, it ain't.
Just break it down for them.
An exigent of great beasts was using the Manse as a base of operations. He was recently exalted and operating over the last year or so, creating these monsters. He has a mandate from heaven, so we brought in other chosen of heaven to negotiate a settlement with him. And if you want to test your alkalites' metals, he'll be more than happy to create them more interesting critters for them to fight.
Well, they were here to test your metal, but okay. Well, that sounds like that's a big mess that you solved.
Back.
Good job.
Yes, alkalite, or yes, algorithm?
Oh, no, I was just away for a sec.
Welcome back.
Congratulations, fledgling Lunar Exalted. You have made Luna proud. He has his hands on his hips like Superman.
I furrow my brow. This does not seem right.
I'm the same age as you.
Congratulations, acolytes. Neonates of Luna, you have proven your worth against this test. This completely legitimate test.
E.T., You're pushing it.
Completely legitimate.
I'm it's the absolute deadpan as the last of the monstrosity flesh and claws disappears into my form. You're pushing it, Ichi.
All right, let's get some spider gauze packed into your spider wounds and into my guys too.
This is gross.
I lean over to Mocking White Wind and say in autochthonic, Quidry, is Lunar the crazy divine minister? Or
No.
what is going on?
No, I think we had a hazing ritual.
I mean, we do that at home all the time.
Yeah.
So we are required to convert all the nutrients into petroleum as recompense then?
No, I think we're just going to fix the geomancy of this manse, and if Ichi lives up to his word, he'll turn it over to us for use.
He digs through his pocket and grabs out a hearthstone that's kind of a sickly green and brown color and just kind of rolls it across the stone to you.
I'll grab it.
I let Masque take it.
I just with a spider, webbing, just whip.
Well,
Mark the Maker on it.
I'm sure you'll all figure it out. Mark of the Maker says that this hearthstone comes from this manse that was made by those spiders.
Does it do anything?
The hearthstone? It connects you to the manse, which connects you to the domain, which gives you a pool of 1 effort. The hearthstone has other powers that you can unlock later.
Ooh.
With dominion and celestial shards.
Which we have.
Should we need/greed this?
No.
As the resident Lunar who is made out of spiders, I think it should go to you.
Sure.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And it might not last long when we're done tearing the entire place out and then building something more useful on top of it.
Nothing is more useful than spiders.
Well,
Yes,
I'm not.
To enslave them and turn a textile factory. We can clothe all of Huzzah.
Algorithm, let's not damage the local geomancy. This place was built with a certain original design in mind. I'd rather not aggravate the local spirits in the area that use it. We can just deal with...
We would never reconvert anything for human use.
Well,
Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Not everything. You have to understand. Not the humans are not the only agents operating in this world. We have a number of animals and powerful divine agents that also use this territory, and we need to keep within the precipice of our treaties with them.
And Raksha, too. Actually, we should probably be getting off the ground.
What? Oh, no, we're not that close to Shanta.
No, we're a couple hundred miles out of Shanta right now. We're okay. Not to mention the Raksha, if they're around here, will probably either immediately deal with us or run the hell away.
Alright. Do Alchemicals know anything about Fae?
Not really. They're fairly rare, considering where you guys are.
There is one in Autochthony, but none of them know about it.
Yeah,
it's in Esvara, and the reality engines keeping it contained are breaking down.
Yeah, it's the computer core for the holodeck system that Autochthon has.
Oh yeah, but that's like an unshaped. It's not even sentient.
Unshaped
no,
can't be
it's-
sentient.
Are they sentient?
Yeah, but the problem is sentience for an unshaped is more along the lines of this annoys me, consume it.
Aren't they like living Dungeons and Dragons campaigns or something?
No, all that is very
They're
dumb.
what are they? Not avatars, but the things that are basically noble rocks that they exude are more traditionally sentient.
So, the spider acolytes pick up their wounded, get their little carrying bags together, and leave. So does Spider
Okay.
Ichi.
I guess I feel bad about them, and I'll send a spider to watch them so they get home.
I would just leave it be. Ichi's been playing with us.
Yeah, but they're stupid. It's not their fault.
No.
They kick the shit out of the Magister.
It's not hard to do.
Well, if the Magister... And by the way, as I'm saying this, I'm going to burn subtle effort and... hold on. I got to roll something real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm probably like anima glowing now.
So all the damage that they did to me literally just disappears as I wipe it off me. Just it's just like I was wounded, not anymore.
Can I use a miracle of artifice to heal myself, since I'm sort of a machine?
Nope.
I actually have a gift that lets me do that.
It's this new thing called health.
Yeah, I licked my. I used the merge torn flesh and broken bones in your own form, becoming briefly molten with vital force. Commit effort for the day, which I just did, and you get back 1d6 hit points per 3 levels, rounded up. Until the start of your next turn, you're immune to physical weapons that harm from objects.
I do the same thing, and I'm just like, I just go like quick regen.
But what I
20%.
will do, on the other hand, is for the poor Magester who's really beat the hell up, I will use my herbalism and shamanistic training to actually pack and take care of his wounds properly.
Huzzah!
I'm sure that the spiders help him quite quickly.
Okay.
So, you guys have done it. In 4 short sessions, you have overcome the challenges of Shanta and the Lunar Domain and the Kaiju Exigent and all the horrors. You know, Mirage is going to have to still do the thing where he gets this guy out of here because this guy's just a nightmare.
Yeah,
Seriously.
put him back in some place that's slightly more useful.
Oh no, I have a plan to move him.
I mean, he has this really great lab now that you guys fixed.
Yo, he could probably do really well in Yu-Shan, actually.
We are not bringing him to Yu-Shan. That is not going to happen.
Is the Magester poisoned in any way?
Nah, he's fine. They were just, knives. He's
Lots
just
and
been
lots of knives.
stabbed.
Okay.
I think I might need to figure out how to get
Just
some more
stab.
AC or less.
Poor
AC.
Grandpa Simpson.
Well, I mean, worst comes to worst, if you've got enough effort before the combat starts, you can use a miracle to dump your AC down to 3 or better.
I have form charms that do help me decrease my AC, but
What words do you have bound to you?
time, knowledge, and luck.
Oh, you could totally miracle up a AC3 with a time thing.
Yep.
Time miracle.
In fact, there's
luck.
one. There's one specifically for time.
Yeah.
And luck.
Yep.
Yeah, I just haven't bought it yet.
Yeah, you should be like more defensive than any of us.
I had to buy up Snake. Actually, you know what? Teaching the Magesters the first part of Snake would be a really good idea. Get him. Once again, Mirage and I would start teaching people.
Yeah. More snake martial artists.
Yeah, first attack combat does maximum damage. Adept's AC is reduced by 3, and as long as they have full range of motion, and you're immune to venom.
That would have really helped.
It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
He likes getting stabbed, okay? Let's
It's
just
fine.
It's fine. Don't worry. This just happened to hit my weaknesses, as in ranged attacks that I did not actually expect to happen.
Ninjas.
Yes.
Blades in my skin, my one of many weaknesses.
a lot of my combat and stuff is all active things that I have to activate and be aware of things that are going to happen.
Yeah, and you've got Masque and I who are basically combat blenders once we get in melee range.
Yeah. All of my stuff doesn't basically sidesteps AC.
And then you have Heroism Advancing Algorithm, whose range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm
we
not
get Sola.
that great at combat.
We get Sola in here, and Sola has the same. You can't see me because I am too bright, which is why I was not surprised when Algorithm turned and I was like, "Oh, this trick."
So I figured that like the music that I just posted was playing.
It is about 11:30. Are we going to keep rolling or wrap it up?
Against the ninja.
Yeah, who needs to head out?
Oh, I'm
Not
catching
me.
a flight tomorrow morning, so I probably should.
So we won't be able to do Mirage's thing tonight because he has to go. That's fine. What about you guys?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm pretty good. Just gotta type something.
Okay.
And you, Joe?
So, Yeah, I'm good for the time being. So I guess with the algorithm's help, the two of us clear the essence venom channel that's been causing the problem to take the pressure off. And actually, algorithm raised a good point. What were those other two manses? We could go investigate them to expand our dominion and control.
The other two manses you'll find if you, I don't know, shake down Ichi or one of the spider ninjas are actually locally owned manses by a elemental, a flame butterfly, and the other one is owned by a ghost.
A ghost?
Yeah.
Like a powerful ghost?
Not really, but it's like a Shadowland manse. It's like an underworld manse.
Oh, well, we have to fix that.
Um,
A blight zone this close to Shanta cannot be.
It's
Yeah,
not a blight
door.
zone. It's underworld associated.
Do you even know what a blight zone is?
Fair enough.
You talking to me about Blightstones, bro?
Hero isn't coming out with the sass now. Do you even blight, bro?
Some people like to worship their ancestors. It would be best not to disturb them too greatly.
Yes, they have that in Sova. That doesn't mean you have to let them own the real estate.
Oh my god.
Algorithm,
This is so good.
you do not have command over this area. Leave it be.
Not with that attitude.
However,
I disagree. I think that we shouldn't allow ancestor cults to get a good grasp here, because that leads to Shadowlands.
This is a Shadowland. It's an underworld manse that has a Shadowland around it.
Oh,
That was-
There we go.
well,
That's
okay.
exactly what it is.
Truth of the matter is we need to finish cleaning up these two manses in the interconnections. And Masque, do you mind if we attune to this manse as well? That way we've got the two manses in the immediate vicinity locked down. Since you grabbed the
Yeah.
herbstone.
Yeah.
Only the Hearthstone owner gets access to the effort pool.
Right.
Okay.
But we can all access the manse for the
The power of this manse is its host to millions upon millions of spiders.
Can we make them do anything?
Well, they lay eggs, they get into your clothes, they spin webs, they have venom, they can be milked. Delicious spider
Could
milk.
we get them to sin in a fabric of some
Actually-
sort?
Actually, with effort, Masque probably could get them to do that.
No,
Bas-
I don't need effort. I could just talk to them.
Various chambers and rooms and alcoves in this place have been geomatically aligned to attract spiders to do certain things there. So there's large caves that are nothing but large thick bolts of spider webs that have been spun. Other ones are like pools of sterile glass that have venom just dropped into them. Some of them just have clusters of dead spider eggs in them and
Okay.
shells they've cast off to be turned into a sort of fiber material.
Okay, so to summarize spiders.
Well, I'm just saying the manse is made in such a way that spiders naturally produce resource over time.
That's awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to tell all this. I'm going to make some kind of spider society here.
But it's natural. You can't just tell the spiders to do things. You have to shape the man's itself to...
Or spend dominion on the spiders.
Or that.
Could I spend influence?
No.
Yeah, it'll just fade over time.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just commit some influence to the spiders
If-
until I get some dominion.
The spiders.
If Mirage gets the exigent out of the other manse, given time, Algorithm and I can clean the hell out of that place, make it more functional.
The manse functions as a nice place to stay as an amusement. It doesn't really have resources in that same way.
No, but I've got Dominion to burn.
Yeah.
So I actually like the idea of having, since part of our agenda is dealing with monsters and, well, not just monsters, but anyone who's causing trouble in the immediate area, those lower chambers are damn perfect for keeping prisoners. I am actually thinking about converting
Yes.
the large chambers and the lower chambers into prison chambers and containment areas for monsters and creatures, so we can determine, capture, analyze, dissect as needed.
We've gone full on Marvel here.
Yup.
Hey, did
What?
it go down for any of you guys?
Yeah, your icon duplicated for me.
That's weird.
Yeah, that
it
was
is-
weird.
it was
Everything
really
just
weird.
stopped for a second.
That means you have ghosting, basically. You disconnect it, and it created a second instance of you.
It'll fix itself in a bit.
Oh, there's an evil twin.
It's like the IRC doing its thing.
It's just a ghost of your future self coming to haunt you. Don't worry.
My argument is whenever we have these little continuity snarls with the party, people disappearing and reappearing, it's Magester breaking something, and then
Yeah.
later on, Mirage fixing it just because it's what he does, and the two of them just slowly pushing back and forth on reality as continuity and causality bounce around us.
And the pattern spider's getting really angry.
Someone's gonna get bit.
Spiders
I know.
everywhere.
There's just a lot of spiders in this game.
They really
This
are.
makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does.
It keeps happening.
So did I miss anything?
Nope.
I have 8 Dominion to spend. So, Devin, how much Dominion would it take to convert the chambers into storage bins and basically monster containment chambers?
Probably like 1 Dominion.
Wait,
I
are
won't-
you messing with my mance?
No, I'm messing with the other one.
Okay.
It's
So-
changing a few square miles, even less than that, and it's super fucking plausible.
Yep, and that's pretty much what I do.
Recorded on
Would
the
it take
group
Dominion
sheet.
or would it take Dominion or just the fact that I have a zillion in effective labor just to fortify the place?
It would actually take Dominion, and I'll spend it on containment mance.
Yeah, keep track on your sheet and the group sheet. Like, we'll put a little Dominion section right, I don't know, here. Containment mans, yeah, sure. Or,
Oh, sorry.
sorry, I didn't mean to move your cursor.
But I'm sure algorithm could help make it happen faster, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But I have 8 Dominion to burn, so I'm going to burn one of them.
And you guys have to spend Dominion to level up, remember? But yeah, a single Dominion will make it a fact, quote-unquote, of the Mance.
That we realign the mance and turn it into a monster, and I'm going to call it a villain containment problem.
What do you do with the bodies of the monsters?
I'm sure the kaiju guy will like to take his samples with him.
Like the bodies of the Mothra and stuff?
Yeah. Bits and pieces of them. Samples.
He's a little pissed that you're desecrating their place.
Well, the problem is they're dead, and, it may come to the point where we could put new creatures in there.
Yeah, but I can fix that.
No, you can't.
Yeah, look.
You can fix that over time. The problem is these bodies are useful for crafting new weapons and items.
But I could fix this. They're behemoths. They just need a little bit of something to get it going. I could go into the wild. Grab a few Raksha Graces, pump those in there, get the whole process running again.
Yes, but I actually would like to analyze and look over these construction on these, and just leaving the bodies down in the tank when we can reconvert these tanks into more functional things. You can see my side of the argument where, as you gear up in your new location that Mirage is arranging for you, you will have to have containment areas for those creatures as well.
I would like to use one of my facts about the personality thing to make it easy to understand his perspective,
Okay.
the exigent.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn into him so I understand his point of view, so then I can
One of them.
explain why we're doing this in a way that he finds acceptable.
Okay, so at the end of the day, even though you're explaining it, are you taking these bodies away from him?
Are we? I'm asking.
Would remodel require that, or
I just mean he's
they-
moving, and these are enormous. They're Godzilla-sized. Are you taking these away from him? And if you do take them away from him, are you going to flush them down the toilet?
I'm
Where would
asking
they go
Mocking
if we
White
did
Wind.
that?
I'm just trying to make it so he doesn't make a scene. He's
Make a scene.
White-
Like a
White
dude
Wind is
yelling
the guy who's.
like a dude yelling at his wife in public in a white shirtless t-shirt.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Mocking White Wind is the guy who's making the decision. I'm just trying to smooth it over.
All right, Mocking White Wind, are you taking these behemoth corpses from him?
Is he going to argue with me the entire time?
I'm just wondering, are you taking them away from him? And then when you do take them away from him, are you going to ruin them and mulch them?
I'm not going to mulch them. I'm going to very carefully dissect them, like the savant I am.
Okay,
I will.
See, even if he doesn't have access to them, the fact that you're ruining them so he can't fix them later is irritating.
Okay, I'm going to explain it to him like...
All right,
okay,
let me take one.
Take like 1 minute?
No, like
No, he wants.
there are 4 of them, so one of the tanks you leave alone for me, and I won't, and he looks at you guys, make a scene about the other 3.
The make a scene
Are they
stuff
just
was
going
out
to
of character.
rot
I
if we
didn't know he
leave
was
them
actually hearing that.
regardless?
Sorry,
Like,
what
is there any preservatives, or are they just going to rot if we leave them there?
The tanks actually are full of nutrients and preservatives. The tanks are built to keep the behemoths in a happy environment, and the tanks are finding out that the behemoths are in a very bad way, so they're pumping as much preservatives as possible until some sort of sorceress surgeon can come in and nurse them back to health. You know,
even though they're dead.
Yeah, but, death is but a door.
Time is but a window.
That, and they're basically biological robots, so you would just replace the broken parts and get a new behemoth.
They were made by Titans, so best case scenario is that this guy goes on some crazy exigent adventures and is able to restart one of their hearts, and then their insane behemoth regeneration will kick in.
I take him, I put my arm around his shoulder, and because now I understand his perspective, I go, hey, you've spent all this time making these things to test heroes, right?
Yeah?
Okay. But have you ever considered that you're a hero too?
Yeah,
Otherwise, you wouldn't be exalted, right?
Yeah, I know I'm a hero. I'm doing a service to the people. I'm amazing.
So, what is this but a test? Anybody can start from here, but have you considered that perhaps you've let yourself grow stale and too accustomed to these things? Much like fire in a forest, right? The old growth has to be burnt down so that new and better growth can spring from those ashes.
He's kind of just like putting his hand to his forehead. All right, listen. If you just leave one of them in the tank for me to come back and fix later, and then take away to wherever I'm going to be setting up shop next, I'll help you render the other 3 into materials.
Deal.
Okay, I want
Wait,
them
if
all.
their regeneration is that good, couldn't we mostly butch them anyway and just leave him a viable hunk of all 4 of them anyway?
Oh, they're super dead. Like they need to have their pattern mostly together for him to be able to do psycho-spiritual core surgery on them. He might just have to go and hunt down another behemoth and rip out its spiritual guts and slam it into this thing to get to jumpstart it, like a cell transplant.
How powerful is this guy?
He's an exigent, so he has the potential to be kind of garbage or kind of amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how powerful is he?
Oh, he's like tier 2. He's essence 2.
Ooh. Okay.
Wait, what if we send him back to Klaslat and have him do biogenetic research there? I assume we have enough problems to keep him busy for the rest of forever.
Do you really want a giant monster in some place as sensitive as Autocathon's guts?
That's his question too. It's like, do you want me to make giant monsters to, galvanize your people into individual heroes? Because I'm really good at that.
I was thinking more optimizing in nutrient production in rats.
So what you want is me to make a giant king rat that's like 50 rats stitched together that constantly vomit out nutrient paste that people eat, then get hypnotized by the rat, and the rat leads them as a swarm. Like an abstract metaphor, the Pied Piper rat leading the people with the food of the government. That's what you want, right? That's exactly what you're asking for.
Okay.
Masque just throws up.
Masque, why don't you step outside?
Okay, wait. Sorry,
such a plan.
Max, could you start over? There was a bit of interference.
So, Masque just throws up.
I can see some possibility with you, but I would need official approval before, or I could give you the go-ahead. we might need to add a few additives just to ensure loyalty to this nutrient rat producer. But if you could get a sufficient degree of control, I can see a great deal of use in such a creature.
So, just to be clear, I'm going to make this giant rat monster. I'm going to set it loose to attack your people, and then one of your people's going to rise up from the ashes and slay it and become a hero of the state, and everything's going to be good. No one's going to get shitty about it. He eyes Magister and Mocking White Wind.
Oh, yes, we will.
Oh, no, I assume one of the Epoli would just keep it trapped in a municipal charm, and it would be milked for nutrients for the rest of all time and used to increase loyalty in the populate.
I don't think
Okay,
either of you quite...
That's a little like what I do. You just have to remove that last part and let it rampage through your town, and that is exactly what I do.
I go over to heroism.
But the town is Exalted. I doubt that it would allow such destruction.
I'm sorry, I
put
don't
my
understand.
arm around Algorithm's shoulder, and I go, hey, buddy, this guy's fucking crazy.
Does not mean he is
Don't
not
let him
useful.
in. Don't. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be diplomatic. Do not let this guy inside. He will make monsters. That is what he does.
It's literally what I
If you tell
do.
him whatever thing you try to say, this isn't like it's.
I'm not
this
trying
is-
to trick you.
Yeah, he's. You can't trick him into doing it. This is the thing that he does, and he will do.
Like-
if you ask
Like
him
on
to
a
make,
rampage.
if you asked him to make like a box, the box would kill people.
Until one in a generation would rise up and heroically, strike it down.
Tensei.
I assume in
Tensei.
Autochtonia the destroyers would take care of the problem at some point. But really, he cannot be made to do useful work.
Well, my god told me that this is a necessary part of creation. Oh, wait, okay. He like kind of levels with you, Heroism, okay? So the world is fallen. You understand that, right? Like the creation is not like wherever you come from, I guess. It's broken. Okay?
Okay, man, Cathonia's pretty broken.
What are you talking about? We have a perfectly regulated and incredibly prosperous society.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
just so
keep telling
unhealthy
yourself
posters.
that, buddy.
But creation's not like that. Creation is a gross, horrible mess full of slavers and jackasses and plague and mutants and wild diseases and horrors. And it's like that because of just horrible things jackasses did in the past to destroy the perfect golden society that used to exist here, where everything had a place and everything was in its place. And in that perfect society, there were heroes. And those heroes rose up from the ranks of mortals by fighting great, angry monsters that would rampage through the countryside. So, my divine duty, the only duty that I can do, no one else can do the job I do, is I make the monsters that rampage through villages and ruin lives so that one soul out of 1,000 dead will rise up, take up arms, and heroically put down that monster and become the hero the world needs.
In a completely uncontrolled manner.
We don't need that. Our environment is already trying to kill us all the time, and we get heroes production in nearly down to a science.
I am reconsidering my thought about letting this guy live.
It's a natural part of creation.
Creation already has that without your
And
Oh, really?
creation was built by crazy monsters, so natural isn't necessarily a good thing.
Also,
Also,
as
we
an
have
aside, a
that. It's called
Togthon.
fire.
Just saying, a Togthon was one of these primordials. Just saying.
Yeah, look how he's doing.
He's doing fine, actually. He has a perfect communist state of the government that loves him and his people.
That and now that we
being
opened the
quiet
door,
in
he's
this.
not running out of souls, so...
Yeah, that's not
But
happening
yeah,
anymore.
he's just...
As soon as the gate opened, the soul problem got fixed.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Oh, they just flow right in.
Really?
Yeah.
The reincarnation system.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my thing.
Although the Lunar is going to be insane because there's all these new souls with no marks.
Yeah, that's going to be a nightmare to collate.
Wait, the marks go on the souls? I thought that
all
was...
It's what
All
the
right.
souls gonna do.
We are getting
Alright.
a little off topic.
We discussed this long into the night.
Yeah, I sit there and say, I'm fine with your agreement if you can help us render the other 3 down into usable parts. You may choose one of the 4.
All right, well, I definitely want Mantarok. He points to them off.
Mantarok,
Then-
really?
Mantarok it is.
Perfect. All right, I guess I'll flush the Tyrant Lizard and we'll get to work.
Well, you'll take that tyrant lizard with you, won't you?
Well, presumably they're going to give me better resources.
You're so much further along with the process.
No, I have a better idea. More thumbs. Taller, more erect. Standing on 2 legs.
So a human.
Yeah, maybe 50 foot tall, clad in gold, a giant abs everywhere, shining in the light. I have ideas.
Man is the real monster.
Sure. I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay.
How about
Might I suggest you insert built-in weapons?
Oh,
It will
definitely.
increase the degree of destruction significantly.
Why are we letting this man live?
Shut up. Shut up. Stop talking.
No, Masque. Magester has a point.
Is this
talking
happening?
to
Are we going to fight?
algorithm.
Is this happening? Is today the day?
No.
All right.
Magester, come with me for a minute. I pull Magester away for a bit and sit there
Don't
and say,
plot my murder if you're going to talk somewhere else. Don't do that.
I'm not going to plot your murder. You have an agreement with Mirage.
Yeah, I
Mirage is
do.
making the arrangements. And we're going to stand by that.
Okay.
Right, Masque? And I look at him.
I'll get a
No,
smart.
I was talking to algorithm about the inbuilt weapon thing.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'll
But
sum it
you
up.
say divine mistakes and duty. Isn't it your duty as protectors of creation to ensure the proper functioning of all divinely mandated systems?
Exactly, right? This is a thing that exists in creation. There's an entire god in Yu-Shan that runs this, and I'm doing the work for him. I should add that since I started doing the work, no less than 6 heroes, and he points to kind of all of you guys, have shown up in my area to stop my machinations.
I
That
came
is
Because I
from
was
six.
the
asked
realm.
to.
That's
I was
6.
asked to.
He
By
just-
this spider chode.
He puts up his hand dismissively. That's 6. 6 exalts. None of them the same, except for like 2. Showed up. Just saying I got results.
You didn't
No.
raise people up. You murdered them.
You rose up to stop the monsters and find the source.
I
Yeah, but
actually
our
had nothing
existence
to
there
do
was
with this.
completely coincidental.
But you're here. And then
Your
just kind of,
logic is
he makes
flawed.
like a hand motion. Fate works in mysterious ways.
Fate had nothing to do with what I was doing here. I would know.
In the course of this, can we have private conversations with each other?
Yeah, sure.
Why don't we just throw him in one of the behemoth tanks? Won't that keep him in stasis while we think of something to do with him?
The Wild Hunt was
Probably
made to
about-
destroy monsters like this man.
He'll probably come out and be like half behemoth or some.
Da 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 da.
Because that's any worse than what's going to happen if we leave him unsupervised?
Yes, it would actually be much, much worse.
Supervised,
Yeah.
he's gonna go work with the Cult of the Illuminated and train Solars to be better Solars. It's like the
We
biggest
are to-
win-win you could have gotten.
I think we're just going to be pawning him off, and do we turn a blind eye as the mortals that he carelessly tosses around? Do their souls cry out for no vengeance?
Meanwhile, in Yu-Shan. Okay, so, Mirage, you had to leave the party and you were heading to a Yu-Shan gate to go and investigate the Cult of the Illuminated, right?
Yes, among a couple of things, but that was the primary purpose.
All right. So, I'm just going to gloss over the travel time. You have the means to get there, and there's not really anything that's going to get in your way. You're a single person, combing through the wilderness. And yeah, you eventually head to the gate. You go inside. One day we'll be a little more in deep depths about Yu-Shan and the gates once we grab everyone together.
Assuming I would actually be willing to take any of these crazy people into Yu-Shan.
Oh, it'll happen eventually. And
Oh,
what?
God. That will be the day I lose my job.
And what are you looking for here?
Well, the first thing, once I get into Yu-Shan, you mean, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the first thing I was hoping to do was to make contact with a gold faction supporter. If I know one who is connected to one of the Cult of the Illuminated camps, that would be the ideal one. But barring that, any particular gold faction affiliate would do.
Yeah, the factions are fairly hard to pin down because people don't just openly talk about all that horrible stuff these days. But there is someone who is fairly well known to be sympathetic to the right kind of gods who kind of show that kind of leaning. And that is a God-blooded who lives in Yu-Shan. He works for the Postal Service.
So not Sidereal, however, the God-blooded who works the Postal Service is probably snooping on our mail and therefore knows.
The God-blooded that you know, he supports the some different gods that are pretty much considered to be pro Unconquered Sun, pro the return of the Empire. He is the son of oh shit, I forgot his name. He's actually in charge of the Bureau of Humanities, and I forgot his name, but he's been sealed inside Mountain Prison for the last little while, and Amoth City Smiter's trying to take over his position.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I know the Godblooded's name, and his name is Carionet Ori.
I cannot spell that. Carionet, like carrion and marionette? Okay.
Like marionette, but put a C instead of an M.
Okay, and what's the last one?
Ori.
Oh, that one's not hard.
Yeah. Okay. Carionet Ori is a postmaster for one of the larger sections of Yu-Shan. He just kind of worked his way up to that position, so he manages several of the more enlightened mortals, minor spirits, elementals, and dragon kings that have this position in Yu-Shan. It's the best they'll get.
Okay, well, time to go talk to Carionet Ori.
All right. Yeah, he is at the Postmaster Center. It looks like they're receiving scrolls and tubes, filling up bags with them, getting clouds and sleds that are drawn by like still young Kirin, loaded up for just distributing post and emergency letters.
Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask is whether or not my character would have had occasion to talk with him before, or is this likely our first conversation? Probably not, I imagine.
Yu-Shan's big enough that it's very hard to talk with everyone, and you're not that old, so you haven't actually ever talked to him directly. You just know of him through just the meeting talks among your fellow chosen of the maidens, and just talks among like your subordinates and your superiors and stuff.
Okay.
He's a very good message carrier, and he's very good at coordinating like emergency memos when there's things that need to be done.
Probably going to need to be cagey about this discussion then, aren't I?
Maybe. He's in his 30s, has sandy gold hair, pretty skinny build. He looks kind of like he'd be modeled after, what's his name? The Angel Kid from Nintendo.
Okay.
Damn it. Kid Icarus. Thank you, Nicole.
All right. So,
like a messenger.
in that case, I guess I will. I think I'd probably attempt to come in and bug him near the end of his shift, though on the other hand, there's a good shot I have no idea when his shift is, so...
When you come in, yeah, they're doing that load up. There's him, there's a few mortals, you see a forest elemental, like a wood elemental that isn't a forest spider or whatever. Helping him load some of the larger parcels is an Anklock, which is the large Stegosaurus-style Dragon Kings.
Oh.
Yeah, they're loading a sleigh up for delivery.
Well, I'll wait till they finish loading that up, and I guess at that point I'll probably chat with him. I'm not going to interrupt him in the midst of his work, because that's a surefire way to just get brushed off.
Yep, they finish up, the sled goes out, another cloud kind of appears, and they start loading up with, like, boxes and whatnot, and he sees you and kind of, heads over.
Does he speak to me first, or would I initiate?
He walks up with, like, a cool damp rag in his hand that he's using to wipe off his hands and his brow, and just kind of makes this facial expression you like, yeah, hello.
I say, greetings. I'm Raj. was hoping I could maybe borrow you for a minute, though you're quite busy. Is this not a good time?
Yeah, it's a pretty good time. How can I help you?
So, well, I'm trying to. I have a question. I'm trying to figure out who to speak to about it, and I figure you might be someone who'd be knowledgeable. Point me in the right direction.
All right.
You handle correspondence for a lot of my associates in the Bureau of Destiny. Yes?
Well, we are the mail, so yeah, it happens occasionally. I do priority stuff.
I say, well, have you heard them? Have any of them ever been arranging for mail? Do you only handle mail specifically in Yu-Shan, or do you also arrange correspondence to creation?
Oh, well, it varies. It really depends on what's going where and such. Sometimes creation, mostly Yu-Shan. This is a hub here.
You ever, any of my associates ever get letters sent to very remote places?
Sure. Every once in a while.
Out of character. Why am I assuming he would know? Just because I figure he's knowledgeable on that, or did I have someone who would tell me he was knowledgeable about that?
Just
previously?
through your talks with your associates and other chosen of the maidens, you have the information that this guy is a part of or works with the Cult of the Illuminated. He is your hook.
Okay. Got it. I already know that then. I say, well, I know that you've worked with several of my associates on matters involving certain new and returned heroes.
Well, that's subtle. What can I help you with?
I say, well, I've recently met someone who might be an asset to helping train and otherwise help those heroes meet their potential.
Okay.
I say, well, I'm wondering who I would be able to talk to in more detail in order to make sure that this is all done in a way that is most helpful.
That's gonna be me. What's happening?
Out of character. Do I believe him?
I don't know. He told you you'd be dealing with him.
So okay. It was out of character. I actually sort of expected I'd be speaking to another sidereal about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's only 100 of you.
That's true. I out of character, I didn't know how much the Cult of the Illuminated was a non-sidereal operation, but obviously they're going to involve people at all sorts of levels.
There's only 100 of you. I mean, you weren't in Yu-Shan until you came back to Yu-Shan, so why would anyone else be in Yu-Shan?
That's because I think that the standing routine involves at least half of us being in Yu-Shan at any given time.
And you just assume that those half would not only be Gold Faction, but also be ones that also have hands in the Cult of the Illuminated and are in the same section of Yu-Shan as you?
No, that would imply that I was either really stupid or really tired. So of course I wasn't thinking that at all. So I say, recently met a chosen who has a unique gift with creating really good tests for heroes.
All right.
Now I figured that that for a nascent hero, testing their mettle in glorious battle against something that would otherwise cause mortals to be rather put off, I imagine that would be quite helpful for them, yes?
Sure, I can see that.
We're looking to potentially either relocate him or make sure that his work is brought to the right place. Where would such a place be? Or if you'd prefer, who would I introduce to him in order to set this up? Would it be you?
What's the catch?
I look at him twice. A catch?
Yeah, what's the catch?
I say, well, the catch is that the test can be severe, but that's mostly the size of it. The chosen in question is a little eccentric, but his eccentricities run exactly in the direction I just implied. He works to create very large and animate challenges.
All right, but why specifically does he need to be relocated now?
Because that right now his work is creating challenges, waiting for heroes to track them down, and it's causing a lot of incidental damage, incidental casualties among the mortals in the area. Also, it's having some nasty effects on the local geomancy, which isn't a fault of his work. It just happens to be the particular spot he is.
Okay, so he's not hot? He doesn't have any heat on him?
Out of character. As best I know, the answer is no, right?
Yeah.
I say, none to my knowledge.
Well,
As far
all right.
as
How about
he
this?
says, all right.
I have some time coming up. Why don't I come back with you and we could meet the bloke?
That sounds excellent. We could certainly arrange that, and you know, I could then, and we could assist with the relocation process, and hopefully this will all go swimmingly. I say, when would you have an opportunity to do that?
Well, I have stuff I have to get signed off on here, and I'm sure you have stuff to do here, so why don't we meet up when we're both ready to go?
I say, all right. How about, I think, say another out of character.
He left it vague because he doesn't know how long you're going to be here doing stuff.
Yeah, I know. I figured that's why. I'm just trying to think. I don't know if I would have any reasonable guess as to how long it was going to take White Wind and the others to stabilize the geomancy as it currently was, right?
Yeah, and, like, you have stuff you could do here, and then once you're done, we could, like, you just go back.
How about 3-4 days from now?
Okay.
I asked him if it's 3 or 4 days from now would be all right.
He said okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
No problem.
All right, I say, excellent. I will see you in a few days.
Sure thing.
Yeah. And I go off.
Alrighty. What else are you up to in Yu-Shan?
Well, so a while back, not too long ago, one of my senior fellows had offered me training in exchange for helping him with a favor. And after some thought, I realized something, which is, if you're in the 5 Score Fellowship, this is the sort of offer you don't refuse.
Right?
Yeah, seriously. So I'm going to formally tell him that I am most graciously or most gratefully, not graciously, gratefully going to accept his offer. And if he had a particular favor in mind that I could do it at present, I would be glad to take it up.
He doesn't have anything right now, but he'll give you martial arts training if you want. That was the favor, I think. He said he'd train you first, and then he'd call it in later.
Okay.
But you're only here for 4 days, so, you know, later.
Ah, okay. So in that case, this isn't what I need to do immediately. The other thing I was thinking I might want to do, I wasn't sure if this was strictly necessary, it may not be at this point, is to check in with what's the extingent's name? The one who I keep referring to by his title because I can never remember his name. The chosen, the Forge of Beasts, the chosen of the Forge of Beasts.
Oh yes. 1 sec.
Yeah, I can't open the file right now.
Belagarung Tensei. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I was writing it down. Around Tenzin. For some reason I kept feeling like Tenzin was the name of the god, and I think that's why it just wasn't computing right.
No, the god's name is Toshiro.
That's it. Toshiro, thank you. Yeah. I was debating having a conversation with him on the nature of his chosen. I'm going to do a little bit of investigation. I'd like to find out about his particular rank, his promotion path, anything. I'd just like to know more about the deity.
He wasn't doing so hot up until about 10 years ago, where he petitioned the Unconquered Sun for a Fire of Exigence. Dropped off the grid for a bit, and now he's been gaining a little bit of popularity and portfolio. It's been kind of building up for the last little while.
Okay, so he's gained a portfolio. Does he have an official position in the Celestial Bureaucracy?
Yes, he's in charge of Kaiju.
Oh, I knew that was his portfolio. I just didn't realize it was also his position. Like, I figured, like, for instance, Amoth, I think it's Amoth, he's the Slayer of States, but he's also rising in the Bureau of Humanity. I didn't realize that.
He's in the Bureau. Toshiro is in the Bureau of Humanity, and the part of the Bureau of Humanity he deals with is providing heroes with sufficient challenges to become heroes.
Really? That's a branch? That's awesome.
It's a position he's held since the Primordial War.
Yeah, I think I'm going to drop by his office. I'd like to meet him. After all, I inherited his house.
Yep, it's easy enough to find his estate. It's a much larger affair than your sidereal chalet that he moved out of.
I'm sure.
Probably 2 or 3 times the size. It's full of servants, it looks like. Like, you see, like, minor gods and functionaries, like, just in there doing their work, organizing the place. You see some mortal servants. What looks like a few first-age constructs that are just there being servile or being janitorial or custodial. There's a Dragon King and a couple flame ducks.
This is his house, not his office.
Oh, sorry. I heard house.
I might have said house. Like I said, I'm a little tired. So I guess I could go call on it. I could go call on him at his house. Either way, it just depends on which place I think I'd more easily locate him.
Probably his house.
All right, then that's where I'm going, and I will call at the door and ask if it is possible to be introduced.
Yeah. The butler at the door lets you in. Some maids move out of the way once you come on. Once you come within sight and just kind of hide themselves. This place is very shogunate era designed, like it has that kind of old Japanese style building to it.
Okay.
This place is
Has
covered
he put
in
all the artwork up?
Oh yeah, this place is covered in like monster war trophies, skulls.
I remember some of those murals before they carved them out of what's now my place. They looked awesome.
Murals, scrolls, a large part of the drawing room. The drawing room itself is like 50 by 50 feet and has like a giant space in the middle that has like the fossilized bones of a monster set into the floor, and then you're supposed to like kind of walk around it on like little walkways that have couches and viewing rooms. There are There are chimneys and fireplaces that are made out of like what looks like fire smokestacks or like chitinous bone members of something that used to breathe fire. This place has a very stylistic Japanese mansion combined with a grotesque charnel house appeal to it.
Charming.
Yeah, stuffed things everywhere. Swords and weapons on display, broken pieces of armor. In one of the rooms that you're brought through that has like those like paper doors opening, there's the shattered fuselage of a noble war strider made of orichalcum just on display.
I was going to say, I expected that, the walls would probably be littered with broken artifacts or other relics of glorious battles against monsters that are bigger than this mansion mass.
The chest cavity of the fuselage is split outward, like something, tore in and pulled someone out and is still stained with blood.
I was going to say, it's a particular type of taste anyway.
Yeah, you're eventually brought to an inside garden. It has sand lots for, creating sand, kind of Zen garden curating, and there are some rakes against the wall. There are bonsai trees. There's a koi pond. The koi are just normal-looking koi, and sitting in the middle, tending to a new sapling, is a man and a woman that occupy the same space at the same time and flicker between them. Who has a rack on their back, like a large circular rack with spikes on it that have flags on it. And in one hand, which switches depending on which one they are, they have a large seashell always hovering just above their palm.
Huh. Interesting. I've probably never seen anything quite like that.
They're a god. You've seen this every day of your life.
They are a god? I meant, okay. I meant more along the lines of every god is unique. I've probably never seen this particular.
Yeah, this particular configuration, but, gods. That's what they look like. The entity looks at you with both sets of eyes and just kind of gestures to a seat in the sand. Hello, chosen of maidens. How can we help you today?
Out of character. So I'm basically talking to Toshiro now, and this is he. Or they.
This is it.
Like,
oh, shit, I fucked up.
I
when they speak, the sound actually comes from the clamshell. But the clamshell doesn't move, just the voice comes from it.
Huh. I say, greeting. I say, it's good to meet you, Toshiro. I introduce, I am the Mirage of the Ideal Destination. We've never had an opportunity to meet personally.
I should hope not. Yes, I keep my accounts in order. No need for any audits.
See, well, it's unfortunate that that's the only reason that one might pay a call. I'm actually here to give you my compliments and say that you have my admiration.
Thank you, Chosen. That is very kind.
I say, I had encounter. I had encounter with your Chosen, in fact, and he is most devoted to his task.
Ah, an informal audit.
It's not an audit.
Well, how have you gotten along with Tensei?
I smile and I say, he is, as I said, most devoted to his task. Perhaps occasionally a little heedless, but none can fault one for no one can earn fault for pursuing their duties with all due zealousness.
He is an exceptional mortal. He earned my approval beyond all other applicants. I am quite proud of him and his accomplishments.
I looked thoughtful at that. I said, applicants? Then in that case, it was indeed a most careful selection, and it's an admirable one in its result. In fact, he has drawn more heroes than I can offhandedly count through his magnificent work, and as a beneficial consequence, I'm seeing to an arrangement where he will be able to demonstrate these works to far more nascent heroes who can use all of the training and test of their skills that they could possibly have.
Well, very good then. It's nice to see that he's moving up in his position in the world. It is a very logical and inevitable conclusion of his greatness.
And, by extension, a reflection of yours as well.
Of course. Where does his greatness not spring, but from my careful cultivation?
I smile and I say, it is good to see the that a god such as yourself still takes such a very, very deep interest in the cultivation of good works in creation.
My job is an honor. My job is enduring. My tasks are necessary, for creation is nothing without my works.
I smile and I say, I think that you in that case have looked very positively on the emergence of so many new heroes in the world in the past few decades.
What could possibly be a greater gift or a greater compliment to my efforts than for the chosen themselves to return to the land and strike down the fertile beasts that I have ingrained into it?
I smile. I nod and I say, and it teaches them not only skill and strength, it also teaches them about the role and what it is that heroism truly means to those most impressed mere mortals beside them.
Yes, Star Champion, I am aware of my domain and all it encapsulates, and the lesson it imparts upon the world. We do not need to be reminded.
Oh, my apologies if I have given offense.
Now, is there anything we can do for you?
Not a thing. I simply wish to meet the patron of Tenzin, and the one who has fostered his fine works, and make sure that he was well appraised of those good works, as well as the opportunities that were being afforded to him, so that way he would not be at all surprised by the change in location or domain.
Well then, your compliment is taken, Star Chosen. We are quite pleased with our Chosen's work, and the gift the Sun has given us through his power. We only hope, we perhaps now that he is shown such promise, such unexpected results, perhaps we shall make a blessing or a gift for him. Tensei could do with some... And they kind of just look around at the room. Token of his estate.
I smile and I say, I leave that to your best judgment. After all, it is your purview and your chosen.
Just kind of sit there staring at you, like they're thinking idly about what to do.
I wait a few moments to make certain that I'm not going to give offense by speaking out of turn. After I say, and also as I passed through, I had the opportunity to view your most varied and impressive collection of memorials to the great hunts and battles of the past. It is quite impressive.
Yes, it was very nice to refurbish this well-earned estate into a memorial. What a good word. A memorial to the beasts of the apocalypse that I once shepherded. The World Eaters.
No, Toshiro, I have taken enough of your time. Thank you very much for seeing me.
See yourself well, Star Child.
And I'm out of here before I too much overstay my welcome.
Alright, that was them.
Oh, gods can be weird ones, can't they?
You know what's inside the clamshell?
Huh?
You know what's inside the clamshell? An actual final breath explosion attack, like the final attack of one of the primordials before it suffered fetish death. He just kind of trapped it in the clam and kept it.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, so he basically has Godzilla's atomic breath in that clam, and he holds on to it as a part of his estate.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. He uses it as a forge to cook, and he uses it as a forge fire to cook and temper and craft all of his weaponry he makes from the dead monsters for the Solars, or the Lunars.
Alright, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to do urgently while I'm up here in Yu-Shan.
I think I think that's a
Go
wrap. You were able to talk to the guy. He'll show up next session with you to kind of take care of the exigent and move him away. And you got confirmation from his patron that this is not some sort of crazy plan he cooked up. This is everything the god wanted.
Yep, and most importantly, we know that the god is not going to be pissed about this either.
No. If anything, he's going to reward him.
Which is fine as far as I'm concerned, as long as the damage is being controlled by all those would-be heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I can't think of anything else that I would need urgently to do. So yeah, at that point, I will check my inbox, file whatever reports I would have had to file in the couple of days I was back, and then you might contact and go back to creation.
Perfect. All right, well, I think that's everything then. And now back to creation. All right. So, you agree to give him Mantarok, the monster moth, the giant lunar moth as he calls it, which is just kept in its tank, and he is going to assist you guys carving up the other behemoths in the operating room after he flushes the T-Rex.
Okay.
You guys will be able to harvest an amount of celestial shards out of this thing. That I'll figure out later.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's fairly important for some people here. Some people who are robots.
Could I use behemoth shards? Aren't they a little flashy?
Interchangeable.
Isn't that inviting in Gremlin syndrome?
Not at all. They're interchangeable.
That won't cause gremlin syndrome or anything?
Not at all.
I don't even know what causes it.
Man, our Prince of the Universe game, knowledge causes it is what everyone thinks. Everyone's afraid that would you like to know more causes it.
Oh, that's fucked up.
They think it's mimetic.
Yeah. Wow.
But
there are some charms that are, I forget that keyword, but they just do it by virtue of being a charm, and they give you a dissonance track just for installing them. But
yeah, real talk, the behemoth shard harvesting won't infect them building your charms. It just gives them the supernatural resources necessary to do the manufacturing.
Yeah. Okay.
Real talk. You'll be fine. This is not a trick. I am not tricking you.
I can tell you that he's telling the truth.
Like, if you went into the underworld to the Tomb of the Neverborn and started ripping out parts of the Tombs of the Neverborn for celestial shards, maybe there'd be a talk about that.
Probably shouldn't.
Or if you went to...
buying anything off demons.
Or if you went to the reaches into the gremlin zones and started harvesting gremlin zones for celestial shards, we would probably have to have a talk about that.
Have any of you guys ever played The Secret World?
No.
Oh,
No.
yeah, it's World Darkness, the MMO, essentially. But anyway, so the Exigent puts on his operating gloves, you rip up the T-Rex, you rip up all the behemoths, and he displays all these different things you could basically use to start manufacturing artifice, Monster Hunter style.
Well, looks like our next trip is going to have to be back to the VAT complex.
Just load this up into your little steamboat Willie and head on down to your VATS complex. Oh man, yeah, everyone could just come by and visit. They could visit your home. Break bread with you. Nutrient-based bread.
That might be interesting because there's this otherworldly golem creature that has been companioning us, accompanying.
Oh yeah, the Machine Man.
This is weird. Now that we're not dealing with anything purposeful, I think I need to interview him.
Mm-hmm.
Of some sort.
So, at this point, you guys have completed the big spooky quest of dealing with the Kaiju creator and the Monster Maker. You've solved basically every thread in a nice little bow, except for that crying forest. So... So from here on out, the world is your oyster. I think we should talk on the Discord about where you guys want to go from here, now that you have a nice little base set up.
All right.
All right. So I have been Devin from Sponsored by Nobody, and we have had...
Yeah, I'm here.
Say your name, Joe.
Sorry, Joe is mocking my win.
Sam as the Magister.
Max as Heroism Advancing Algorithm.
And Jordan as Multitudinous Masque.
And this has been Sponsored by Nobody, signing off.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.